45 seconds. $30 seconds. The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
He told you his first opening line was he was going to be wrecked when he got there.
As advertised.
So anyway, we had an absolute great time. And
was the event well attended?
We think so.
Yeah, it was crowded.
We think so.
I've been told there was a brisk turnout. Wow.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
Welcome Tuesday, November 21, 2023. The Bubba the Love Sponge show with the number one lineup. Me, Lummy, Dr. Dan. Lummy fresh with the hardware.
Yes, sir.
How'd you get off of Rat?
I was able to talk.
Anna, Rat, Macho Man. I think that's it. Yep, that's Macho Man. That's Rat. Can you hear it?
The buzz.
Oh, man. There goes his Thanksgiving.
Rat, can you hear it? Anybody over there, can you hear it?
Right ear buzz.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Just rip it right out of the
one
wall.
more day.
Just rip it right out of the wall, kid.
He's going to be here on Thanksgiving.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Just rip it right out of the wall. Or I can just turn Red's mic off. Look at that. Gone. So anyway, I do have to have his mic off. Your mic will always be on, Mach. I might always have your mic on, just like I always have Dan. What's everybody doing for Thanksgiving? I'm going to my sister. This is the first time that I'm going to see her brand new house.
Oh, awesome.
She fully moved in and
She's fully moved in. All the beds are like she's fully like
Pictures on the wall.
yeah, like
Boxes
I
away.
think everything is done. I think, all bedrooms got new furniture, new beds, all new light. Like it's all done. I think it's all done. I think the only thing that she has to do is this next spring she has to build a pool.
she has to build a pool.
Yeah, well, of course. And I can't believe that she paid as much money as she did for the place, and the home builder didn't provide a pool.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, my Lord. But she was like, no, And this home builder, that was this really exclusive neighborhood, this Garden Gate community off of Luke's Lake Fern Road, whatever the hell, which is not too far where she used to live. And it's just like super exclusive, and like all the houses they start at $1 million and all this kind of nonsense. But they do seem very close together, very, like too close together.
I hate that.
And then the other thing is it was a big, huge company that did it. And they bought like probably, 300 bathtubs, 300 shower and curtain, like they bought in huge quantities so that you really couldn't make any changes. You couldn't make, like, you got the house, like, boom, here's what you get. Like, you couldn't say, hey, can we maybe knock out that wall, make that closet a little bit bigger? You know, like when you're working with a builder, Dan, you can do some of that.
You tweak it, yeah.
But not in these, I guess in the new era of building homes, it's, you know what, bitch? No, you get what we give you. Because early on, I was like, listen, I was going to get a hold of Jeff from Generac.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, listen, when you're building your home, if you, in the wiring stages, wire in, you know, a generator, I got to think of that it makes it so much easier.
Oh, yeah, super
than
easy.
after it's already built and trying to add one on.
Yeah.
Bolt it in and plug it in.
And I talked to Nash. I'm like, yeah, we can go in there in an afternoon. Not Jeremy, but Justin, and go in there and I can get, you know, all the service and all I have to. And I'll even. They come with like pads, concrete pads that you can buy like at Lowe's and Home Depot. You don't even have to even lay the pad. You just lay the pad on the concrete pad on the ground, and then that's where the generator goes.
Yeah.
Or you can elevate it.
Which one? I think that's what Jay did.
Right. Jay elevated his, which is probably what you should do. But you can do that when they're still framing your house, right? No big deal. They can also build a pool easier while you're, you know, because I mean, you know, they need like little mini excavators and stuff like that. They need to run them through your lawn. So after you've laid your lawn, your sod, you know, in your landscaping, and then for them to have to come in later that next spring, they still have to drive at one time or another an excavator through your front yard to your backyard.
Ruins all your grass.
Right.
Chews it all up.
Right. I mean, you know, and they're going to be back there. You know, they're going to be back there boss hogging with all kinds of equipment. So you've pretty much ruined all the landscaping that you put in November. She's like, she couldn't put it together. She couldn't find a reputable pool builder that would do it in conjunction with while she was getting her house built. And I got to tell you, pool builders are there. There's a lot of scam artists out there.
Oh, happened to a friend of mine last year. You know, they took his money and they never built his pool.
The Olympus one?
Huh?
The Olympus company?
Oh, I don't know what company that was.
There's a huge company in Tampa.
I mean, I got to tell you, man, there's the biggest. They'll come out, Dan, first day, take like, you know, it's a you know, $75,000 deal. They'll come in first day with an excavator and start digging a hole and get your deposit. Like, you know, let's say, so it was $70,000, you gave them 35, right?
Right.
And then they're done. You'll never hear from them again. And you got half a hole built in the back.
Right.
And you go to the Better Business Bureau or something, and it's like not even a recognized corporation or anything like that, but they got a real fancy website and stuff. That's all you need in life to fool people is a fancy website. Think about it.
Yep.
Right, Anna? I mean, the first thing you do, let's say, I'm like, hey, Anna, I want to take you to lunch this weekend. I'm sorry. We're going to do the new food review. It's got some kind of vegetarian, vegan kind of
Oh, nice.
deal.
Let me just check their website.
Right. I'll give you
Keep their menu.
Yeah, and so they have a really badass menu, right?
Yeah.
But the place sucks. All you need is a badass website, right?
That'll get people in the door. They may not come back.
Right. They may not come back.
But they'll at least try it out.
But Lummy, if I'm in the pool business and I got Olympus pools, right?
Yep.
And I got the baddest website. It shows, you know, all these custom pools that I've done, most of which you haven't even done. You've just taken pictures of off the website, you know, type in, you just Googled real fancy
pools.
Yeah. Lummy, like right now, just Google, you know, really fancy home pools and send that link to me.
All right.
I mean, you know, now does the public, when you're peeping a website, you don't go and do a picture often. They have like, you know, different sites and stuff, Lummy, that you can run the picture through and it'll tell you, you know, if it's a picture that's on the web that people use or it's a legitimate picture of what that person's trying to sling you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't run all my pictures through a picture authentator. Do you guys?
No,
Dan. I mean, if you looked at Olympic pools and it had, you know, some badass pools, you would think, hey, that's Olympic pools.
I would assume.
Right. Like, hold on, let me show you some of this stuff over here. Hold on. Let me move.
And, you know, one of the problems is, You know, if a builder does something on your house and you don't pay him, he can put a lien on your house.
Yes.
But if you pay a builder and he don't do nothing, you've got no recourse.
Dan, so you and I'm like, Dan, look at this. This
wow.
Is, yeah, hell yeah. This.
Build it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, look at that place. Look at that place. That pool's badass. Okay, just kind of
the Taj Mahal.
Yeah. I don't think that's the Taj Mahal.
I'm just kidding.
Right, but I mean Taj Mahal like.
Right.
That's probably from one of them rich
It's a stunning estate, I would say.
Dan, that's probably out there, somewhere north of town where all those car dealer guy lives.
Right, exactly.
Look at that. They got palm trees. Like you would never not think that house is not in the Tampa Bay, Florida area.
Nope.
If they told you, hey, we just did Jimmy McGillicuddy's pool. Let me show you a picture of it. Okay, and then as long as it's got palm trees, you automatically think of Florida, right?
Absolutely.
And I didn't even
Or
type in
California.
Florida. I didn't type in Florida in the search, and I think everyone's had a palm tree.
Yeah, or California, but
even though those are imported. But,
right, exactly.
Is that Patel House finished yet? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, it is not.
That palace?
It's like a 10-year project.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Look at this. Oh yeah, I would be like, man, I want this guy. Hold on, this is what Dan has coming out of the carriage house.
That'd be awesome.
Dan's gonna put a pool in the
2
back.
slides?
Yeah, 2 slides. Hell
Why
yeah.
did you do?
Why not?
Why not, Anna? Why
Right.
not?
If you're gonna
It's not
build
a race.
one,
Because if you're
it's
gonna build
not
one,
us.
you might as well build 2.
Right.
Look at
true.
that. I think that might be Matt Geiger's. I think that is Matt Geiger's place, Lummy.
Oh wow,
I think that's Matt Geiger's place.
nice.
But hell yeah! Look at this. You can just Google pools all day. Ooh, look at this one. This one's got like where it falls over in that little trough, and then that trough recirculates it back up there.
It's sweet.
Now that's kind of cool.
It
Yeah,
is.
I like it.
Until you try to come home drunk one night and hit the pads and you
Hit your head and you drowned.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go here, then I'm gonna go real easy right here, and then I'm gonna go real easy right here, and then you bite it right there and you hit your head right there on the side of that deal right there. Look, they got trees built inside the
That is
pool.
cool.
Tell me that's not going
That's
to be a
beautiful.
nightmare with all that bark floating out. Let's say, Dan, you get a heavy rainfall and your pool goes over. Next thing you know, you got all that bark floating in your pool, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure this guy just pays a guy to fix it.
He probably has a guy that just swims out all day and just
Right.
picks up bark.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Fish net in his teeth.
So anyway, Tara is, if anybody, email. Now, what is our official email now that we have Bubba Army HQ? Which, by the way, yesterday we were told there were nearly 14,000 people trying. Now, we don't even know how many got on. There were when I talked about it at its peak, Bubba Army HQ, which is kind of our new end-all, be-all, our new shiny object. There were 14,000 people trying to get on. We don't know how many got on because we hadn't turned our squirrels up yet. But supposedly, Lummy, our squirrels are full nuts. And we can, we can accommodate, pretty much anything.
Yep.
But BubbaArmyHQ.com is kind of our new little thing, and I think you can go and get yesterday's podcast that we did, and boy, Anna, that was quite an amazing podcast.
It was spicy.
So
It was very entertaining.
Lummy, if you could get me an excerpt of Soul Brother Kevin.
Okay.
Listen, Anna and him had an exchange. They kind of worked it out. I think Anna's got a better understanding of what happened. I think.
Yeah, and I was exactly right. Exactly what I had predicted.
You interrupted me because my next breath was going to be, and she was dead on with how she thought this went down. But you beat me to it. But it's your deal, so no big deal, for real. But yeah, she was dead on. But here's what I really appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Kevin is the one that blew a call into John Brennan and said, listen, control your employee, which may or may not be cool. I can see it kind of, but I can see it not. Anyway, he manned up, he took responsibility, and he apologized.
Did you notice how his memory seemed to get better as the podcast progressed?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he was able to remember things that he couldn't before. So I thought that was interesting, but I'm glad we talked it out. I have no ill will towards SBK. When it all went down, was I angry? Yeah, but I let that go.
Would you rule out doing a podcast with him?
I just did.
No. Hold on. Not on a full-time every pot, but like on a one-off. Like, would you do a one-off with him?
Just him and I, yeah.
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 Just a one-off. Like I don't want it every Friday. I mean, well, unless you guys would want to.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a one-off would be good, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. No, but see, I don't. Yeah, see, you're a girl, and I feel you just kind of bitched me out a little bit.
I honestly don't know how to say it without sounding facetious. I am good with it. Does that sound better? More sincere?
Well, that sounds like now you're being real mean to me.
Okay. Well, I don't. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Is for real. I don't want you to do anything that you don't want to do. If you truly would be okay with it, then just kind of give it to me
I am totally good with it.
All right.
I think, to be honest, Kevin and I have a lot in common, and we had a lot of good exchanges while we were at Cox together, but we also had a few bad ones.
But when you guys started rolling, you guys did have some things that you guys did speak about.
Oh yeah, we were both into Gary Vee at the same time. I remember, and Andrew Schultz. We both have an affection for comedy, stand up. So
I think yesterday was healthy for both. You know what? I think yesterday was healthy for that particular situation. And,
not to bring this back and talk about race or anything, but I did kind of feel like. Do you remember that moment in the Kyle Rittenhouse case when they were doing a cross-examination on the other guy, and
the ambulance guy that he shot?
Yeah, and he's he basically proved that Kyle Rittenhouse was acting in self-defense, and the lawyers for the other guy were face palming, and they ended up losing the case. But that's exactly how I felt. I felt vindicated because I was right this whole time. Even though he accused me of just making assumptions, my assumptions were 100% correct. So it was nice.
So it was kind of easier to swallow the whole thing as a whole when he validated your suspicion.
Yeah, I said, I think Mo alerted you. You alerted John Brennan. John Brennan called me, and a week later I was fired.
Right.
And he's like, you don't know that. And then as we broke it down bit by bit, I was 100% right.
All right, great. The Soul Brother Kevin and Anna Bra podcast coming soon. Speaking of which, Lummy, if you're going to go get our podcasts, go to Bubba Army HQ, enlist. That means you just make a screen name up and give us your email address, and then you can peruse around on it. I mean, Lummy, did you on your meeting yesterday tell them that we needed the hot mic thing?
Yeah, I told him Micro. Yeah, Micro. He's emailing a list of things that we needed to add onto the website. So it will be on there.
Perfect.
Most likely by this weekend.
Look at this. Look how good this thing looks. I mean, I got at least 5 or 6 emails from people that just said, "Man, just the look of it. It looks slick. Bubba Army HQ. Just the
when you take yourself seriously, other people take you seriously.
Yeah,
so it looks like we take ourselves seriously.
And just like how we went back. How we were just talking about if you're hiring a professional pool company and they had, some badass pictures of some stuff that they did. Well, I mean, we have to look like a badass radio show that has a lot of content and the functionality of our website, which is what the business that we're in. The majority of our content is streamed. Then we have to have a slick looking website. Mm-hmm. And we've had Lummy, Jesus, since 2011, we've had a 2011 looking website.
Yes.
Even in 2023, we have a 2011 looking website.
And website, that's like dog years. 12 years old. That's ancient.
Yeah.
So we've completely reskinned it. It looks great. And we hope that you guys go and peruse around. More importantly, enlist. That's free. But there's also forms of there's other forms. Look at Meet HQ. You can look at Dan, Merch Crick, Jay, Babyface, Bubba, Anna, Lummy, Macho Man. There you go. Rat, the filthiest of gingers. Back over to the Merch Crick, and then there's a little bio about everybody, and then again, if you want to go listen to the podcast that we did, that's only available here. Yes, you can go to iTunes and iHeart and all that kind of, but we're asking you to quit going there and jump onto our podcast through us at Bubba Army.
One-stop shop.
Yeah, Bubba Army HQ. All you do is click on it. And now see, it says you must be a paid member to view this content or enlist. Enlisting is free. You just need to come up with a screen name and an email. Boom, you enlist. Then you could start listening to all kinds of sort of different things. And if you want to watch us, look, Bubba Army TV. Oh, that's a new one. Yeah. Bubba Army TV coming soon. Then Facebook, Kick, Locals, Rumble, TikTok, Twitch, X, YouTube. You want to buy one of those new hats for $12.99 or $9.99, Lummy? Boom.
Boom.
Got that business happening. You want to, see Dr. Dan's bio? We got that too. So again, it gives you a schedule of the shows. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. It then gives you an opportunity if you want to listen to the search engine on this thing's amazing.
It's incredible how detailed you can search.
Oh, my God.
It's impressive.
Let's say you wanted to listen to the Blind James show from, 2008. I don't know if there is any on that or not.
No, if you just do category, it should pop it up. I think I'd hit enter, but.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Enter. All right. So anyway, it's amazing. I'm asking you to go. There you go. Look, it gives me all of the Blind James. I think Blind James is no longer with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Blind James. I think he died years ago with Henry. Remember Henry and Yvette?
Yeah.
Yeah. Henry died too.
Yeah. That guy was dying on that call anyhow.
Yeah, he was done. Yeah. She was blasting dudes, and remember, she wasn't trying to hide anything around the bush. She was saying, right.
She pretty much called him a big.
I just got a text from my good friend, former Warsaw, Indiana, Jim Tapp, class of '84, big time electrician. Lummy said he had a great pool builder. That's Dan. How you get you word of mouth. Somebody who has used this pool company and gone through the whole entire A to Z process of said pool company, had it built, paid for it, and whether it's a good pool or not. That's how you get a good pool company, not by going to the website and reading Reddit reviews, but talking to somebody that actually had. I think this is. I just glanced at his text. I think it's Dig It Pools.
Nice.
I think Macho Man owns it. Dig it. I just glanced at his text. I'll look at it in more depth when I go into words, but I think it's called Dig It Pools.
I can tell your sister, I had a good pool company when I built my pool.
You did?
Yeah. They were called Trendsetter.
Trendsetter?
Yeah, they do a lot in like Hyde Park, South
So
Tampa.
I got Trendsetter and Dig It Pools.
And Seekus.
Who's Seekus?
They did Jay's and they do our pools.
Okay, so let me see.
SEIKAS,
All right, hold on. SEIKAS. Then I got Dig It Pools. And then let me, what'd you say?
Trendsetters.
Trendsetters. Okay, those are all good ones, right?
Yep.
So there you go. All I have to do is just probably hand those 3 names right here. Tara. Here's the Seekus people have done all the Diaco pools. The Dig It guys come recommended from Jim Tapp, and Lummy had his pool done through Trendsetters, 3 reputable pool companies. So these are the ones that you need to use from. So my Thanksgiving consists of getting to her. Well, I got to drop Bella off, Lummy, because Tara's got a cat.
Oh yeah,
so where do you drop her off?
Well, we're gonna take her to Merch Crick's mom's place.
Oh, okay.
What is it, Toots, or what's the cat's name?
What? Bella?
No, her cat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tito. Toonsis was Tito's brother. Tara got Toonsis and Tito as a brother and sister combo. Stray. They were like Tara's Tara went to go pick up her dry cleaning one day or something, and like these
Came back with 2 cats.
These 2 cats were like in a cardboard box laying right by the entrance. Like somebody literally just put them in a box, and so she took them home. They were brother and sister, and Toonsis took a lick. He died a couple years ago. Cancer.
Cat cancer.
He was like, cat cancer. He was like 15, 14.
Oh, okay.
And so Tito, she's about 17.
Oh, wow.
Isn't she big?
She's real fat. Yeah,
cat.
she's real fat.
Yeah.
Runs in the family. And so she's real fat. And but she's the queen bee of the house, and I can't expect that I come rolling in with my white trash pit bull Labrador and think that that's not going to be disruptive. You know what I'm saying? Plus, in a brand new house, like,
Right.
I don't know if her hardwood is, scratchable or not.
Oh, yeah.
For
Next
the
thing you know,
toenails.
Bella and I are playing with her rope, and I'm putting, claw
Right.
divots in her hardwood.
Yeah. it's
Oh
not
yeah.
cool.
So we're gonna take Bella to Cocan. Virginia is her mother, and then Cocan Carlos is her boyfriend.
He's
Remember?
still in the picture.
I think they're engaged.
Weren't you
They're
instructed not to
engaged.
talk about him anymore?
I was, but that's when they were broke up, and now they're engaged.
Oh, great.
Cocan Carlos and Virginia are engaged, getting married in June in the Niagara Falls.
Oh, wow.
Which side?
I don't know, nor do I care. But I just told the merch crick, listen, we can go to the wedding, the local wedding part, but we're not going to Niagara Falls to watch anybody get married.
Can she go by herself?
Oh, absolutely. I,
Okay.
in fact, encourage.
What, you don't want to travel to Niagara Falls? You don't want to see Niagara Falls? You don't want to fall in? I mean,
Check.
what's the problem?
I mean, all of that.
Okay.
Everything.
It's cool, but after 5 minutes, you're like, all right.
Yeah. So, Cocan Carlos and Virginia, good luck on exchanging your vows in Niagara Falls. If the merch crick would like to be there to see her mom get married to Cocan Carlos in the Niagara Falls, she's more than welcomed. I have no problem with that. Please. And then, but if they have a local portion of this wedding,
So you don't know if they're going to have a local.
I don't know. I'm prepared that they might. So we're gonna drop off Bella to Virginia for the night because Tara wants us to spend the night. So I'm gonna get there by noon, Lummy, because the Packers play at 12:30. Now I have begged and begged my sister, please let me take care of the desserts. Like Alessi's Bakery and all you. There's some pretty high-end dessert places around here.
Nothing bunt cake.
Yeah,
I think you brought those last time.
yeah, like
Or no, you were sick last time and you totally missed Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're right. Whatever you say, honey. I don't know. I have no idea about
don't
my
remember?
life. No. That's right. I did
Yeah.
miss Thanksgiving
Yeah,
last year.
we brought you food back.
You're right.
Did you have COVID? What was wrong with you?
He was sick.
I had bronchitis,
okay.
COVID.
Yeah.
You're right. So anyway, I've asked Tara. I'm like, please let me contribute. Let me buy a ham. Like you can go to Honey Baked. They make the best hams.
do.
Can I get a Honey Baked ham? Can I get one of these Alessi Bakeries deals? She's like, nope. All I need you to do is bring lots of Tupperware for people to take home leftovers. So I gave Merch Crick $100 today to go to Walmart and buy as much Tupperware as she can for $100.
How many people are going to be at Thanksgiving?
Not that many, but
Like
I figured
4?
whatever Tupperware we don't use, I'll take back. You can't ever go wrong with resealable. You can't go wrong with
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
And
You
you
just
always
can't.
lose it.
People are
somehow.
weird about that, too. They don't want to lose it. They want their Tupperware back.
They do.
For that $4, they want that
Well, no, but sometimes you get
Sometimes
some of
it's
those
nice.
specialized cake holders, and you're like, and you're doing something nice. You're baking a cake for somebody, and you go and take it to them at work, like we've had here on Bubba 199s, and then they're like, hey, listen, I like to get that cake thing
Yeah,
back.
keep the cake. Give me the holder.
Yeah. So, because that holder's $30, right? Something like that. So anyway, Bubba Army HQ, if you want to listen to yesterday's download, Soul Brother Kevin, I called Soul Brother Kevin. Kevin is currently looking for some radio work. He lives in Tampa, but Anna had a problem with him. And Anna was right on her problem. And her and Kevin kind of sledded through it and hatched it out to the point where, I'm going to invite Kevin to come in and do a few shows. It sounds like Kevin does not care for Seth at all.
No.
Yeah, it's
So
interesting.
he doesn't like Seth, and he got you fired?
Are you talking to me?
I mean,
Yeah.
He doesn't. Yeah, Seth tried to get me fired this time around, and then last time around, SBK got me fired. So it's really great to just see all these old faces reappearing.
Well, I mean, Kevin, I don't think Kevin's going to be full-timer by any means.
No, I know, but it's just funny. Both of my arch nemesis, but
Well, Seth doesn't have a problem with you at all, and I don't know that you. I think you might
For
have
now,
well,
until he changes his medication,
listen,
he goes crazy.
Here's the thing: I'm bringing Seth back on a limited basis. He's going to be like, here's my tentative schedule with Seth. I'm going to have him on the podcast show 10 to noon on Mondays. Then Wednesdays, I'm going to have him on for the morning show, sitting in Dan's spot, the morning show. And then him and I are going to do an exclusive podcast called Clem Cush, why Lummy goes and does live the sports show. And then on Fridays that Dan, I got to get with Dan and see if he needs any Fridays off. If he needs any Fridays off, or we can talk about taking a few off. I might put Seth in there, but I also might put Brent Hatley in there, or Tuttle, or maybe Gene Lasker. So I got, a kind of a hopper full of people for Fridays. I got to get with Dan on his schedule. So that's kind of where my head is right now. Seth would really only be on one morning show, which would be Wednesdays. But
starting next week?
I don't know. He probably not, because he's having a hard time with iHeart. They're going to sue him for his non-compete and all this kind of deal. And I thought that there was some federal law that most recently just passed that made non-compete it's not enforceable on part-time jobs when you work in a right-to-work state or something like that. Dan, you may know a little bit more about that than I do, but I heard that there was some case law that took the teeth out of the non-compete world. I don't know if you've heard that or
Well, the
not.
non-compete world only works for a few years and maybe 10 miles. I guess it's different for radio because the reach is so far, but in medicine, a short distance and a short time is enforceable, but an obnoxiously long distance or a long time is thrown out every time.
So anyway, yesterday I got a ton of emails talking about the slickness of Bubba Army HQ. We had about 14,000 people at one time go to it. Listen, man, go subscribe to it, because it'll give you anything that we've pretty much ever done. And we're going back and finding some old 98 Rock stuff, and we have 2 years of cock shows yet, right, Lummy?
Yes, we do.
To put up. So we're, but all the bits, anybody that's ever done a show in my studios that I own over my, various platforms, Lummy, I think the Bald Bull show's on there.
Yeah.
Cluster F, Hunting the Beast with Britt. The beer show. There's some stuff that you will definitely not want to listen to, but it's available nonetheless. First one of the day, fairly early.
Oh.
You've only been doing it once a day, pretty much.
Yeah, I
you do it every day.
One or two. We need to make note of when I do a complete show and don't use it. I think there has been a couple shows where I don't think I've done it at all. But we need to highlight that. We have not been keeping score on that. Lummy, if people are not familiar with yesterday, you got the strap yesterday. That's why the hardware is officially on your shoulder. If you'd like to explain people how you got it.
I was able to put a full sentence together at our party in Orlando, a 1-minute speech when other people were just a little partied out.
You're able to represent the show way better than I thought you could have.
Yes, thank you.
I thought you were going to be just a complete buffoon about
Which
it.
isn't easy when you were not preparing to publicly speak.
But he did a pretty damn good job. He really did. That's good.
Yeah, he did great.
Lummy, you might want to work on your lighting. It kind of sucks. You look like it's a little bit dim over there.
Well,
pulling Anna on me. You're what? What's the excuse now?
I don't have one. Red already came in and was fixing it. Dr. Dan even saw him.
Dan looks good. Anna looks good. I look good. You look dim.
I don't know.
Especially with the hardware. That hardware should be shining, my friend.
Not one thing has changed on my setup.
It's weird. He looks brighter in person than he does on camera.
Might be my camera.
And that's his life, too.
Yes.
He looks brighter in person than he really is.
Don't chalk up their behavior to being crazy rednecks.
Yeah, think about that.
They're just totally insane. Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
problem. I see the problem. The angle.
Well, he moved it down. It was up all the way.
It should be.
Yeah, that's how it was before.
Lummy. Can't you see?
Light too. Right about something. Let's maybe angling that little light up.
Don't chalk up their behavior to being crazy rednecks.
Light his computer very nicely, but barely his face.
To be honest, it'll probably make it worse because it takes the light away from him.
I understand how adding light takes
You put your headphones on and just turn Red's mic on and see if it's set up.
Yeah, right there.
I went back and hardened some wires. Still buzzing?
Here. Tweaked hers a notch.
Girl? Yeah, I hear it. I wouldn't worry about it. You got that stare.
Some yellows.
Oh, great. And some neo-Nazis too?
Yeah, sure.
Oh. Oh, well, that's fantastic. You know, I think he does have a grandchild that lives in California. They changed their name and everything.
Tough name to follow.
Yeah. Susie Hitler, sorry.
I know. Susie Hitler's rushing my sorority. We'll be a trial.
Yeah. She's like super hot. No, I swear to God, I think she had like purple hair. Like it went the complete other direction. Did Hitler have any children?
I don't know.
No, he didn't.
Good morning, Happy Jasper.
This is a fun
Stevens,
family tree.
Kenny Powers, James Scott, Stacy G, Rudolfo Rivera. Good morning. Big Buck. Zach Moore. What's up?
Completely unplugged your mic. I just want to see if it's still there.
Ziggy B.
Just tell me.
Yeah, turn it off.
It was alleged that Hitler had a son named Jean-Marie Lac with a French woman named Charlotte Lobjo. So he was fucking the enemy?
Hot Rod, SBC. Alright. The Hot Rods, BCS 10.
Whoa. What was her name? Braun?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Braun. Vivian Braun or something like that? Or?
Fucking Hitler's girlfriend.
Holy Yoke Joe.
Ava Braun.
Ava Braun. What's up? Simon 13. Holy Yoke. Jason Hepner.
Children.
Kicks for Guns 2X. Good morning. E17.
Jean-Marie Laurent was born in March of 1918 and died in 1995.
Some of the Mafia people about it.
That was super sad. Did not have children. Oh, Jean. That's a boy.
The toughest name
What's up, Finzi 12?
unmatched
Oh
quality
yeah, that
staff.
kind of looks a little Hitler-y.
Amber Scott. Brooks.
He needs
And Orlando.
See the new Argentina president?
Yeah.
They were upset about him. What's up last week, Mug Shaw?
And his hot girlfriend.
Is she hot?
Yeah. Well, as far as first ladies go, yeah. Actually, she is hot.
I can't believe how high their interest rate are and their inflation.
Yeah.
Where in
Argentina.
Which is why they finally made a change.
He's like some libertarian guy.
He's still going to make Argentina great again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
No.
Yeah.
They say he's a nationalist. That's all I saw.
Who's
I
that?
thought he was
The
a
new president of
libertarian.
Argentina.
No, he's an actually. I mean, they're like saying he's almost exactly like Trump.
He's a Trumpish. He's Trumpish.
Yeah.
Hot girlfriend.
Which is what happens when you completely ass rape a society for 4 years. They end up doing a Trump.
4 years. Like,
Or 8 years, or 10 years, or 12 years.
24% inflation rate in Argentina.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. K Bizzle, thanks for remembering that. Unity 17.
He kind of looks like Eric Weinstein. You know who that is?
looks fucking absolutely crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Also upgraded for 2023 is the SFC 30 commercial walk behind mower. We've got the new drive system for the machine as far as the blade.
Yeah.
What's up, Sister Girl Tees?
What's up, T?
Snizzooks, Lizaire, Yellowbird, Willie. Heather Wiz, good morning.
Europa, the last battle.
Wayne Durbin. Oh, watching the Social Scribe was satisfying, they said.
The circles.
In Argentina.
Oh.
I would describe one.
You can count on All American Coach Company for all your RV.
All those South American countries that are just like Venezuela and all that other shit.
Venezuela's like the fucking worst.
It used to be a fucking rich ass country.
Yeah.
It used to be the nicest part of South America.
It's part of OPEC, right? It is, right?
Nowhere near the rare air at the top of the heap.
I mean, we know what's important.
More like the bottom feeders existing on the scraps of society.
You just babbling about
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Bubba the Love Sponge show. Today's after show. Rumble, YouTube, Twitch,
Yes.
Bubba Army HQ.
Yes, sir.
There you go. There's where you need. Visually, Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch. And then we'll do Bubba Army HQ. And you'll get the after show. Please go to Bubba Army HQ and enlist. It's free. That allows you to do a lot of cool stuff, including listen to this show.
Oh, can we explain something real quick? Because I had a couple questions
Slow
yesterday.
down. You went way too fast.
Sorry.
What?
I had a couple,
Slow down.
I had a couple great Bubba Army people reach out yesterday, and they asked if we're going to come up with a new app. And I was explaining to them that the website, the player inside the website is exactly like an app, and it will play in the background, so you don't have to leave your phone open. Because a lot of people wanted to switch over from TuneIn to our site, but didn't understand that the player that is built into Bubba Army HQ is exactly
if you just put on your web browser, whether it's Safari, Google Chrome, whatever the hell you do, and you go to Bubba Army HQ, you can then make that a favorite and log in that way. An app was literally going to cost us like another 10 grand, and then the maintenance of an app, and the site is so well made, Lummy, that if you just go to it through your Safari or Google, whatever you use for your web browser, I think you're trying to say that the player is just like an app, and so you can just always reference that as a favorite on your web browser, correct?
Yes.
I think that's what you were trying to say, and I think I just said it.
You said it even better.
Wow, thanks.
Thank you.
So going through your Thanksgiving deal, Lummy, what do you? I'm at my sister's. Well, first of all, I'm getting there at noon. She doesn't want me to bring any food. She doesn't want me to bring my dog. So I got to take my dog over to Virginia's with a Carlos can kicker as they're engaged, and they'll watch Bella, and then going to Tara's by noon. I told her I don't want to be bugged. We can't eat till after the Packer game, or we can eat at halftime of the Packer game.
What time does the game start?
12:30. So she says, like, how about? She said, like, how about like 3:30 or 4? I said, that's perfect. That'll be when the second game's starting. But, Lummy, the Packers could be out of it by the end of the second, and we might as well just eat.
Exactly.
Because they're playing the Lions. They're playing the Lions at the Lions, and the Lions are 8-2 right now.
Yeah.
And they're one of the best teams in the NFC. Wow. So the Packers, whatever. Oh, there's Red again. I had to turn it off. Watch, I'm turning Red's mic off again.
It's amazing. You can certainly hear it.
Oh, you can. So let me. Are you having everybody at your place? Are you guys going over to Ashley's place? Are you guys doing a double trouble where you hit your family's
double dip,
and then you're doing double dip?
Sure,
doing the tour of the bay.
Yeah, tour of the bay.
Dan used to have to do that, didn't you, Dan? Back in the day, or
yeah, we've been pretty good about having one Thanksgiving, but I'm skating.
Except for Jay.
Yeah, I'm skating.
Skating.
Oh, what do you mean? Well, we haven't got to you yet. So, Lummy, what are you doing? What?
I'm going to all the family. Hopefully, they come for Christmas. But yeah, from Lutz to Brandon, from Brandon to the beach.
And then beach back home?
Yeah, so it's going to be just a drive-in time.
Now, does Walker ever get a little peopled out? People fretting on him, carrying him, wanting to hold him?
No, he loves it.
Especially if they got jugs.
No, bull crap. He didn't like men at all. I guarantee he's mean as hell to your dad.
Jugs.
He didn't care about your dad
No,
at
he
all.
does not care about my dad at all.
No, but but Meemaw or whatever the hell
Yeah, grandma, yeah.
She still got, decent jugs?
Yeah, she's got a little bit of jugs, yeah. I mean, both of them have decent jugs, so.
Right.
Yeah.
He gravitates to that.
Exactly. He doesn't gravitate to the men.
Is that why he likes
the
you?
Women. Yes, because I have jugs too, Dr. Dan. Thank you.
Yeah.
For pointing that out.
And so, Dan, what you're saying you're skating, does that mean you personally are skating or you as a family are skating?
I'm taking the kids to Orlando for a few days.
Oh, okay.
Disney?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Now, are you taking your wife?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So so you're taking the family.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking the family to Disney for a few
I feel
days.
like the rest of the family doesn't know this.
Well, I feel like it's like super kayfabe. So now listen. Have you made any arrangements yet?
Yes.
You have.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, you know where you're staying.
Right.
Right. Now, what are you leaving tomorrow? When are you leaving Thursday day?
Well, I was going to leave tomorrow and then be back in time for the show on Friday.
We're not having a show on Friday, you dumbass.
I know, I'm teasing.
But if we did, you'd be here.
I would. I never miss. No, we're going to be there from tomorrow until Saturday. Come back a day early, get recharged.
Are you staying at a Disney resort or anything?
The Gaylord Palms.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
That place is huge.
And they're having it's all Christmas decorated up.
Right, it is. That place, they do an unbelievable job there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will you have they probably in their fancy restaurant have a Thanksgiving feast,
Right, but it's booked, so
what do you mean?
It's what we checked.
Hold on. It's booked?
Yeah.
So they got a guest that's going to be there 3 or 4 days.
Denny's?
Hold on. They got a guest that's going to be there 3 or 4 days. I know that you don't have that you're not going to be staying in one of the econo rooms, that you probably have a suite of some sort. So they can't sneak that guy in. The guy that's going to have a $3,000 or $4,000 bill with them, they can't sneak him in for some res.
No, so sorry for you.
Have you?
That's all right. I'll be with Chris.
Oh, okay.
Probably have a holiday menu there.
I don't know. I just made a reservation.
Oh.
I'm not going to Ocean Prime because I don't want to throw up
again. Are you going to do the ice thing they have there?
They have a nice thing. Yeah, I may do they may do the ice slides, and there's a circus show.
All right.
Are you concerned it might be Atlantis Part 2?
No.
Okay. Sorry to bring that up.
So Anna, what are you doing?
I'm going to Johnny B's.
Johnny B's.
Yeah, I've done it for the last 5 years. I love it. It's great.
Is it like the Stragglers Christmas? I used to have.
It's literally the same people every year.
When I was, Slinging D, wasn't married. They might have been engaged. I don't know. I would have Jericho, Christian, Edge, Test, Hogan. Remember those days, Lemmy? And then I have Brent and Coco, and I think Heather or somebody and Tara would just make a huge feast for everybody and all the wrestlers, and just I think Ty J showed up one year, came, and I used to have a Stragglers thing, and of course I don't do that anymore.
A straggler.
And you are a straggler.
No.
And then
you're right. I don't have any family
so
here.
just Johnny B's. And then
and his son and his girlfriend will be there.
No traveling, anything like that?
No.
For the weekend, just kind of shutting it down?
No. My dad kind of gave me a little grief about not coming home this December.
For
just Christmas.
Well, it's called Hanukkah?
Sure.
No,
I don't even know when Hanukkah is.
But hold on. Isn't the Jewish faith equivalent to Christmas Hanukkah?
Yes, it is the holiday that falls around the same time.
I mean, try to work with me here.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
make me look like a complete idiot. If I get something right, it's not. You can give me an attaboy. I mean,
no, you're right.
Because I nailed it.
You did.
So your dad would like for you to come home for Hanukkah.
It starts on the 7th and ends on the 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be coming outside of that window if I did go, but I thought he was coming in February, so I was like, well, I'll just see him in February. And then he's retiring in 6 months, so then he can just come whenever he likes. So I feel like I've been doing a lot of moving around and traveling this year. So
you kind of
have.
You kind of have. You've been really traveled. You really traveled. I think you're
I'm traveled out
for the year. Next fiscal year. Then if you're saying he's retiring in February.
No, at the end of the school year because he's a teacher. So he's done after May. May, yeah.
So after May, he could come out here as much as he wants.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him to not retire though.
Rhett, you mean like go another year?
Yeah, he's been talking about it for the last 5.
One more?
Well, he it's so easy for him, and he's making like pretty good money. So
well, not only that, but for every year that he goes,
do a lot of work.
I think your pension's that much bigger.
Yeah,
I think it is kind of.
Yeah.
Not that I have a pension.
Mm-hmm.
Rhett, I don't know if your mic works. I know it's certainly scratchy, but that's okay. What's your Thanksgiving plans?
Can you still hear it?
Yeah.
Oh. Just at my mom's.
Remember, Rhett had the smoothest, coolest mic in the world.
Maybe you stole his processor.
Now
Right?
he's
I
Johnny.
don't know what happened to my processor.
Now he's Johnny. Now he's Johnny Distortion.
He's got a buzz.
Mach, what are you doing? Just doing family deal?
Apparently, I'm rewiring the studio over the weekend.
No, I'm not having you do that. Okay. In fact, I'm gonna do a nobody come to the studio more. Like I don't want anybody coming here. Work nothing. There's nothing to do.
Can I do the goats in the pond?
What days? Just let me know when.
Okay, all right.
Because I'd like to keep traffic at a bare minimum here.
No problem. Yeah, I won't.
Oh yeah, hey, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, Bubba.
Yeah, hey, no problem. So we're getting closer and closer. I'm taking the Crown Vic. Well, no, I got the Crown Vic back yesterday.
How is it?
Well, it's getting better. I got the side windows tinted now because they look super cool. Because remember, Helami had all the old tint that was like just fish flaking off, looked like so.
Purple.
I got a brand new paint job on it. I got new lights on it. My buddy Terry from Terry's Automotive fixed the transmission. It was a coil pack. Of course, Adam from Fender Works. He just absolutely made it look beautiful. So now Rainbow Rick Lummy, I just gave him the measurements this morning.
Nice.
He's gonna make my Bubba Army stickers to put on there, and then I'm gonna put a number on it, and then I'm gonna put like some NASCAR like Average Joe's, of course Fender Works, K&N, Redline, Terry's Automotive, Skag. We're going to put some sponsors on it, like in the quarter panel there, Lummy, and make it look like it's NASCAR.
What number?
So, probably 14, just because that's, Tony's number. And my favorite driver growing up was A.J. Foyt, just like Tony Stewart. That's why Tony Stewart, actually, people don't realize, that's why Tony switched to 14 when he owned his own team. When he was given 51% of Haas Racing, and they folded that into Stewart Haas. And he had to pick a number. He picked 14 with AJ's approval.
Nice.
So Tyler was always 14. I like 14. Maybe we'll make it 14. I don't know. We got to make it a number, Dan, just so it looks gaudy. Like, we don't want it rolling up and down the road. Well, see, now I can put the Bubba Army door sticker on the back door and put the number on the front door. Or just put the Bubba Army sticker on the front door and we not have a number. Do you think if we have a number, it's going to look dumber or even makes it look like more of a promotional mess?
Looks like more of a promotional mess.
Dan, do you think it looks gaudy or do you think we should put the number on it?
I don't like the number.
I kind of don't either. Anna, do you have a preference? No
Not
number.
really, but I can say no number.
You can just say no number.
Yes, no number.
All right, then we'll do no number.
Thank you.
So Merch Crick takes it up to our boy Adam.
Yeah.
Jacked Adam?
Oh yeah, no. Jacked Adam is Fender Works.
Oh.
This Adam owns
Advanced Film Solutions.
Advanced Film Solutions.
Not so jacked Adam.
And he's. I'll tell you one thing, man. If you need any film, Dan, who tints all your cars? You got a guy?
Jay's got a guy.
Yeah. Well, I got a guy named Adam. But so here I am, Lummy. I'm like, okay, only I'm going to be driving it. It's going to have Bubba Army stickers on it. I always get like the darkest tint I can. I'm Bubba the Love Sponge. I've never been pulled over for dark tint. ever.
Really?
Never have. And if I ever do get pulled over, like for a speeding violation, I always roll all of my windows down immediately and turn the dome light on so they can't get a good bearing on the tint. And and police officers, for the most part, know that I am very pro, Leo. And I got a foundation that takes care of fallen officers' widows. So usually a police officer will cut me a break just because I'm pro Leo.
Sure.
I mean, not a lot of members of the media just absolutely go out of their way to always make sure you stick up for Leo, and I'm one of them. So I'm not driving yesterday. The merch crick is.
Of course.
She pulls out, and within 5 minutes, she gets pulled over for illegal tint. And this Sergeant Humphreys from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department actually cut her a break, just gave her a warning because the car's registered to me. So he's like, oh, this is Bubba's car. And she was like, yeah. And then he goes, well, why does he have such dark tint on it? And she's like, he's only going to use it for promotion. Because I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use it for anything other than promotional deal. And so he told Erica, though, he's like, listen, you have to understand, this looks like a cop car. Because it now, Lummy, kind of looks like a cop car because it's freshly repainted and looks nice. Mm-hmm. He goes, it looks like a cop car. You have lights on it and super dark tinted windows. You're going to get pulled over because people are thinking, police agencies are thinking that you're trying to impersonate a cop. So that's why, Dan, I think when the Bubba Army stickers are on there, that might help people not think I'm trying to be a cop.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah, I agree with that.
Hopefully.
And maybe you need to back the tint down.
Dan, you can't. It's
back
already.
The tint down? What do you want to rip it off?
Dan, what are we going to do now?
Well, if you
pay another $250 for to rip off and go,
Well, it's just the two windows, but
it's the four. But I appreciate it.
No, they're pissed about the two windows. Just the driver's and the passenger windows. And sometimes if you just knock it down one notch and it looks lighter than the other windows, and they don't even mess with you anymore.
Or when I drive it, the cops know me. They won't going to give me a ticket.
There's when I used to drive to Jersey, I used to have to roll down my windows going over the last bridge going into New Jersey because there was cops there every time. And if I hadn't had my windows rolled down, I get pulled over for tint.
Yeah. Well, Merch Crick got pulled over for tint yesterday. Within 5 minutes, Lummy, of pulling out of Adams. She gets pulled over, and the guy's like, listen, I'm not pulling. I mean, I'm pulling you over because I can tell that your tint's illegal. But are you like trying to be a cop or something? And Merch Crick,
I am a cop.
Merch Crick didn't say, well, no, I'm not, but I'm retired law enforcement. I'm fully retired with benefits, and I'm a retired police officer, and the guy. My boyfriend who owns this.
My daddy's Bubba the Love Sponge.
She didn't put daddy in there.
Of course she did. Daddy's a fan of Leo's.
So anyway, Lummy, can I get you a Rhett to maybe give me just a little excerpt of the SBK Anna exchange yesterday?
Yeah.
Maybe like where he's just apologizing or something and they're kind of dancing.
Yes, no problem.
You can go get that podcast by going to Bubba Army HQ. And downloading it and listening to it. I think, what's it say? It says, let me see. Let me put this over here. BubbaArmyHQ.com. Listen to the podcast, and it'll
be about
be
an hour in.
It'll say Bubba exclusive podcast November 20th, 2023. Lummy, if we could just, or Anna, whoever's doing this, if we could just put after 2023, what episode number it is. Can we do that? Or Lummy,
the only issue with that is if you post date it, like you wanted to post like in a week or something, like for the weekend, it kind of messes up the numbers, if that makes sense. Like then the next, if you're posting for say Sunday, and it's Wednesday, and then you post Thursdays will be like, it'll be like 9:01, 9:03. Does that make sense?
No, but
okay.
Hold on.
Right.
No, hold on. No, okay. But I got it. I trust you.
We can number them, but the numbering will be off because if it's Wednesday and it's episode 900 on Wednesday, and I say, you know what, I want in the future, because you can post date it for a future date. So I post, okay, that Saturday is going to be 9:02, but it hasn't posted yet. And then when I post Thursdays, it's going to be 9:03. Like it's going to be the next one that I.
So they'll go 9:01, 9:03, 9:02.
Yes.
Do you ever run into those type of situations, those type of scenarios where you?
Yeah, because that's at least how it was on Apple Podcasts. Like the numbering would be off a little bit if I scheduled something in the future to post.
All right. Well, yeah. Well,
but
fine.
we can.
Exactly, Bubba. That's exactly my thought.
All right. Whatever. Whatever, man. I'm starving. And I don't think my lunch comes until next hour because I ate an hour later yesterday, and I am so ready just to eat this. I'll eat anything right now. I'd eat ass. I'm so hungry.
Whoa, hey.
Wow.
Well, not everybody's. I mean, just not anybody's ass. It'd have to be
just Dan's.
No, not Dan's.
Oh.
Have to be a hot chick.
Of course.
I'm gonna go there, please.
Yeah, I would hope mine's yummy.
Deliciously disgusting.
You're absolutely right.
This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
No, not at this point. Gilbert, Willie. Morning, Hall of Fame. Airtight.
So I scheduled these in the future. So you see how it's like.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know, and then
It messes up the numbers.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So just kind of like what?
Jay Gator.
What's up, Booker Ticker? Jay Gator. What's up, Bama Boy? 52.
Mike Rose said we have to label them all the same anyway.
Did you say that in 5 paragraphs?
I think it was 10.
Was it concise?
It was AI generated. I think.
Oh, okay.
For guns.
Something like that.
Oh, I think we're all out for you there. Spencer, good morning.
The beach is good. Holy Oak.
Peach. Oh, Holyoke Joe, how's it going? What's up, young boy? I'm Jay Gator.
Okay, bud.
I love Thanksgiving.
And get it actually, most of our Everybody need anything?
Nope, thank you. Whoa, like an 18. Nothing gets me in the holiday spirit like limited hours at the gym.
Fox. Good morning, Joe. Slisky. Over there.
What's up, Steve? Old man.
Oh, look. I'm gonna be punch lucky.
I haven't started.
Okay.
Holy Oak.
CKJR444. Fort Walton Beach Bum. Steven Copiel man. No, Joe White.
Really good sizzle.
That bitch is hot as fuck.
Oh, this blonde chick? This Jewish chick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen her all over the place.
I like her. Where is she?
Huh?
She's got some great teeth, but she's hot.
Great
Braces.
teeth?
Some
Oh.
braces.
Yeah. She was in a debate with a Muslim woman who refused to talk to her. So they had to go through like the host.
They wouldn't talk to her?
She wouldn't answer any of the questions she was asking. So then she'd be like, Pierce, like it was Pierce Morgan, can you ask this bitch? Because she's not answering my question. It's fucking annoying.
That is annoying.
She's like, she said to the Muslim woman, she's like, you're a lawyer? How the fuck do you deal with your clients if you just don't want to talk to them?
Broadcasting live
Filthy bastard!
from the den of sin. Just leave your morals at the door.
Yeah!
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
We'll be on the air today, tomorrow. Of course, I think everybody in radio not the part-timers that revel in holidays because they get some prime-time real estate. But for the most part, everybody's gone Thursday, Friday. Back in the day when I used to be a sling and D, I'd take all week off just because I could. Because I had, $3 or $4 million base pay, regardless of how much, I wasn't here begging for quarters like I am now. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, all at the Bubba Army. And now another way for you to be fully immersed into the Bubba situation and help us out a little bit too. But we're providing an unbelievable service. And that is the new Bubba Army HQ. You can become, I think the lowest membership Lummy is $6.99. That makes it pretty much, for the most part, except for pre-rolls, commercial free. You get the hot mic, you get the archives, you pretty much get it all.
Yes.
And then the next level up is like $10.99 or $11.99, and that gives you all of that plus the ability to download on your device. The other one gives you the ability to stream. The next one gives you the ability to download. Listen, we have raised our prices $1, but just the functionality of the site. We have not raised our prices on Bubba Army Radio since we started it back in 2011. So we knocked it up $1 or $2 and, put some commercials in people that are going to listen to it for free and, made it look like it was in 2023, made it look new, shiny, functionable. And this is a new way you can contribute to the overall cause while being able to really have some cool accents. It's kind of like the Paramount Plus / Netflix of my show. Like, it's got everything. Stuff that you even wouldn't want to listen. There's no way you can listen to all of it.
No
and we're adding stuff to it daily, like those. We have 2 more years of Cox shows to put in and things like that, and we're constantly making it better. I think does the chat, if you have enlisted and you're a grunt, which is free, can you chat?
On the website? Not currently, no. You can't chat like with other Bubba Army people.
You see it says chat with HQ.
Yeah, that's chat customer support.
I know. I mean, can you?
Oh yeah, you could chat even not being a member. Yeah.
Could you be like, hey, can you tell Bubba that he looks fat on camera today?
Yeah, if you want the customer service to know that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. The Eagles played the Chiefs last night. So anyway, that's BubbaArmyHQ.com. And I appreciate you if you sign up. The Eagles played the Chiefs. I think it was in Kansas City, was it not?
Yeah, yes, it was. A T-shirt, Will, $50 on the Cash App.
Thank you, my friend. I haven't even checked PayPal today. We could very well have
John Costica.
Oh yeah, let me see. Let me just get through that. Then I'll go right on to what I was going to say. Because I had Trey Bill yesterday. Trey Bill's my last one. Trey Bill. Thank you, Trey Bill. The Eagles played the Chiefs last night. This is Kelsey brother versus Kelsey brother. Of course, the Kelsey for the Chiefs plays tight end, and he's dating Taylor Swift. And the Kelsey brother that plays for the Eagles plays center. He's the center, and his wife's just really cool.
Yes.
And they actually asked his wife, I think yesterday, was she going to be? Now she was promoting this thing that she does for young girls to become a little more athletic and a little bit more just getting out and doing stuff. And so she has this little camp for chicks that, keeps girls active on soccer and various things. And they're interviewing her that. And then a guy kind of comes in. I don't know if he's with this particular newswoman or not, and asks, now what's the guy? This girl's name is what? Is she
Kylie.
Her name's Kylie.
Mm-hmm.
Kylie Kelsey.
And she's married to the center. What's his name? Jason. And of course, the entire family knows that Travis Kelsey is dating Taylor Swift. Everybody in the world knows that. She goes to the games. Although she wasn't at last night's Monday night game, but she goes to the majority of the games. The entire family's, usually there.
She's not on tour.
Right.
It was refreshing because after a touchdown, you could actually see replays of the touchdown instead of
not her
shots of the box.
So, when is it Kylie? Is that right? When Kylie was asked, "Hey, you going to be in the Kelsey family box to watch tonight's game?" I love this chick. Here's what she says.
Getting called in for kid duty.
Will you be in the Kelsey suite tomorrow or
I
in
will
the
not.
stands?
I will be in the stands tomorrow. I'm a stands girl. I love sitting in the stands, cheering with the fans, even if it's in an opposing team's stadium. Travis has a lot of people who come to games, appropriately so. Everyone loves to support him, but it means that it's a tight squeeze in there. So also, it's fun to cheer and not feel like the entire room's rooting against you.
She's like, Dan,
she's
she knows.
Lovely. She's beautiful. She's smart. I like the way she's well-spoken. She is absolutely lovely.
And she knows luxury box etiquette.
Right.
She does know luxury box etiquette right here. This is luxury box etiquette right here.
So also, it's fun to cheer and not feel like the entire room's rooting against you.
So, if you're at Kansas City Arrowhead Stadium.
At a Kansas box.
And you're in a Travis Kelsey's box who plays for the Chiefs, you are going to have some Eagle guys in there who, is rooting for your brother. But, she wants to go buck crazy. She wants to give high fives after touchdowns. She wants to do shots. This bitch is so cool. So she's like, no, I can sit in a box and have bathroom and catered. And, nothing's better than sitting in a box. Or I can be in there knee deep with the Kansas City Chiefs just getting,
The Eagles, you mean?
Yeah, with Chiefs fans. Oh. Because she said even when she goes to opposing stadiums with their fans, she'd rather get up in the mix with that.
To cheer and not feel like the entire room's rooting against you.
Yeah, she looks like an athlete. She looks like she'd whoop your ass if you mess with her, too. I bet you they have amazing athletic children.
I bet you they have amazing sex, too. So I found this list on the internet, and Dan, I was going to kind of run it by you because you're probably the only guy that's rich enough to buy all 29. But this is like, and some of it I think is pretty stupid. But this is the 29 insanely cool gadgets that are going to sell out this November, perfect as gifts. So these are supposedly the 29 hottest new gifts of what I for Christmas, I guess, or
the holidays.
for the holidays. So here we go. The Galaxy Ball is the number. This is the number one gift. Now, Dan, how would this work?
Hours of fun.
It's a little gyroscope / drone, essentially. And it just comes off your hand. It just senses your hand and
so
stays
it
off
just
of
got like maybe like a real mini little GPS system that will pick up your hand.
I don't think it's a GPS as much as it is like just like a sensor.
All right. I think it's stupid, and I don't care how much it costs. I wouldn't buy it.
Don't.
Because I would end up throwing it against the wall when it hit the.
But as soon as the batteries get a little weak, it just falls into your hand.
Right. So
I can see Dr. Dan buying that.
No, Dan's not buying that. So it gets based on whether Dan would buy it, because Dan's got more money than he knows what to do with, and if he wanted this, Dan, if you thought this thing was super cool, you'd be like, man, I might buy it.
I have 2 of them, right? One for each hand.
So Dan says no on the what this place is calling the number one tech gadget for this coming holiday season, the Galaxy Ball. Dan says no.
The boomerang ball.
Now,
I'd rather have a regular boomerang and throw it at people.
Here's something that I actually read this, and I was kind of intrigued by it, because I'd like to have super clean sheets. Like, I wash my sheets every week, and I wash them in like extra hot water with like a little more detergent than I need, and I wash them for like the heavy duty. So like you know how on your washer setting you can put like heavy duty and it'll wash for like an hour and 15 minutes. That's how long I wash my sheets, just because I really want them to be clean. Well, they're saying now that they're making these sheets with like some kind of silver infused deal.
Yeah, silver's antibacterial, so it works.
So anyway, let me read these to you. And this might be something I might buy, but it's all based on, Dan, whether you call shenanigans on the deal, okay? Now, Dan, not all of these. I mean, this like the first one was stupid.
Stupid.
Right?
Yes.
This one, I want you to be honest. Bed sheets haven't seen innovation in years. They are a breeding ground for all types of bacteria and dust mites. Miracle has created the first ever hygienic luxury sheets. These bed sheets utilize natural bacteria fighting silver for healthier skin and cleanliness. It also features modern temperature regulating fabric so that you can stay comfortable all night long. No more excessive loads, bad odors, or unhealthy skin. You haven't experienced a perfect sleep or even more perfect morning until you've switched to the Sleepgram. Transform yourself effortlessly overnight, and you deserve it. Are you calling shenanigans on the fact that they can have a little bit of silver infused in there and it's going to make that big of a difference?
No, I believe in silver infusion, and so I said that they should be doing that to breast implants so they don't get bacteria on them. No one listens to me, but I agree with these.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder how much they cost. Let me see. I haven't even
risk free.
Let me see. I'm trying to see how much they cost, because that has a lot. I mean, like, if they're $300, I ain't buying a pair.
Well, there's a lot of hype before you even get to the price, which is a bad sign.
Self-cleaning, hyperogel, blah blah blah.
Self-cleaning. I want a self-cleaning ass.
Okay, there you go. Dan's looking for. I don't know if that's going to be on the list or not.
If that's available.
Let me self-cleaning ass.
Looks like Amazon has them for $154.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's.
It's silver.
I might buy those. All right, hold on. The Black Falcon 4K. This is a $99 drone that they say is as good as some of the $1,000 Pro drones. I mean, listen, here's the deal. This would be pretty cool if you're just getting into the drone game and you're like, okay, I want to buy a drone, but I don't really want to spend $1,000.
Right.
I don't need
learn how to fly it,
because I'm going to end up smashing it into the side of the wall anyway.
It's going to go in the water.
Remember, the film crew that came down here and they smashed
wrecked one?
4.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
We lost a couple.
So I gotta think I might buy. This might be something I would be interested in.
It's hard to go wrong with a $100 drone.
Right. And if you did smash it, you're like, okay, it's $100.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going, so far I'm thumbs up on the sheets and thumbs up on the drone. Now, here's something I don't quite understand. Pro Power Save. One simple trick to cut your electric bill by 90%. Now, Dan, your electric bill, $3-4 grand. If you could cut that by 90%, bitch, buy me 3 of them, right?
Right.
Let's see why power companies are scared over this breakthrough device that cuts your power bill up to 90%.
How?
That's what I'm trying to read. It's no secret that the price of electricity is steadily increasing each year, but thanks to a new Nikola Tesla-inspired technology, consumers can save hundreds to thousands of dollars each year on their electric bill. Okay, I guess I got to click on this now. How does it do it?
That's a good question.
Both side lawmaker. Okay, but it doesn't tell me how it works. The system remains a horror show of confusion and unnecessarily complication. There's no reason why electricity companies should get blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't. Okay, what is. Here you go, Dan. What is this device? It's called a Pro Power Save, and its tech was originally created by none other than the Siberian American investor, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer. Of course, is Nikolai. Was it Nikolai Tesla?
Nikola Tesla.
Yeah. Initially, it was concealed from the general public because it offered the average families the opportunity to save on their monthly energy costs. Pro Power Save is a small, compact, affordable, easy-to-use plug-in unit that stops unnecessary power from entering the electric cables by overloading the network. Pro Power Save is your power company's worst nightmare. They've been trying to hide Pro Power Save from the everyday consumer, but they have banned it in retail shops. So it still doesn't show me like how it works. All right, okay, here we go, Dan.
Answering your question.
How it works. It's easy. Simply plug into the outlet closest to your breaker box. That is all you need to do. Once plugged in, the green LED indicates it's powered on and working. If your home is large, it's beneficial to place one unit close to the breaker box and another one as far away as possible. It is as simple as that. So, Dan, you'd have to get probably 4 of them. Once you're plugged in, Pro Power Save will get to work. Within a few days, it will begin to make efficient use of your energy while allowing you to reap the rewards for a more robust household appliance life cycle. In a short time, you'll have made money back on your initial purchases. Pro Power reduces the noise therein, decreases. I don't know, man. Dan, what are you saying about this?
First of all, how much doesn't make any sense?
How much is it?
I don't know how. Well, I mean, you might have to click here to see if you can. Oh, I guess you're supposed to click on Florida. To me, this feels like a big Ponzi scheme they're trying to sell me.
I got $20 on Amazon for 4.
There's no
2 for 10
way that 4 little ripped off things that you could plug into your gimmick could lower your cost by 90%.
It lowers the sine wave of your pulse.
What does that mean?
Alternating electricity. So there's AC and DC, and in AC it alternates. It goes back and forth, and so essentially the lines are just like flowing with charge. So I understand there's an inefficiency with that, and this is supposedly controlling that. I'm not really sure how it works.
Yeah. So you're saying that it might.
The lines, yeah. So if you're sending electricity to something, the current's going in both directions. It goes one way, then flips the other way.
If this one's stopping one of those directions, is that what it's doing? I think stopping?
It's tampering. I think it's like...
Or it's only maybe allowing what you need to come in?
Instead of a wave that's big, it makes it a wave that's small. And so it's more of a ripple than a wave, and I guess that's all you need. And so according to this information, when we electrify something, we over-electrify it, and that, I guess, is inefficient. So, I don't know the idiosyncrasies of this.
This happens very rarely in my career, but I have to literally, I feel like I'm going to poop my pants.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, so I got to go to commercial.
Okay.
Deliciously disgusting.
You're absolutely right.
This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
according to the website, or not your website, the thing on Amazon that has things that say up to 30%.
Is it the same brand?
Yeah.
Pro Power Save?
Yeah.
Shit, if I save 30%, it'd be $1,000 a month.
Jesus.
Where's afterward? You think Bubba's poop is solid or running? What's up, Caviar? Running? And it's just straight diarrhea.
We're going.
Yeah, don't slam the door. Just a Nash. It's absolutely bullshit. Right from Philly. It's a scam.
It looks like a scam. Pro Power.
Your Pro Power Save. Do you have 2 boxes at your house? One for the...
I got like 4 boxes.
Well, I'm sorry.
The main house is 1 box, I think.
How many power bills do you get?
2 or 3.
Okay. So your carriage house is on its own?
It's on its own.
Okay. That's what I meant. I was going to say, you should, if they're $9.99, just test it in the carriage house, but next thing you know, you lose the carriage house with a fucking fire. Morning, what goes on? Morning, Rob Gray, Jay Chaloga.
It's Pro Power Saver, not Pro Power Save. There's a distinction.
Oh, is there? Because out of his thing says Pro Power Save.
Is there a lightning bolt on that?
Yes, there is. God, yeah. But my crowd, this thing's a scam. Of course it's a scam. This fucking website is. This thing is stupid. The 20 gifts. You probably had to pay to get on it. Go up there and I can see the fucking ball. If you got it for free, probably. Oh, fucking floating ball. Fucking with it. Well, the 2 electricians and a Brian from Philly who worked for the.
All the idea was making scrambles a smart meter so they can't read your bill.
Is that what you think? Macho? What are you doing up there?
I think I got Rex mic fixed, hopefully. Should we get a party ready?
Said to knock on the door, but yeah, I mean, maybe.
What's a good? Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
his toilet just dropped.
All right.
Again.
I think Rex mic's fixed.
Okay.
Wait.
I think that $20 fucking Pro Power Save is worth buying for just $20.
Well, I had 3 electrical people. One is Nash, and they said it's bullshit.
Okay, then make sure you tell me that, okay?
All right. And Dan's doing full research on it right now. Is that a good poop, Bubba?
No.
Oh.
I had one, but I feel like I gotta go again. I got diarrhea.
Oh,
In Bubba, we trust. In Bubba, you lust.
Naughty.
This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I got diarrhea that just came on me. I shouldn't have said that. Just came upon my body. And then so I went in there and diarrheaed it out. And then have you ever diarrheaed, cleaned up, then I washed my hands, and then you make like you're going back, and then you feel like you got a diarrhea again.
Come back out
again.
Yeah,
I got another diarrhea wave.
Fish on J 25 on the Cash App.
Thank you. Let me. Oh, by the way, Rhett. I think Rhett's buzz is gone, Macho. So you fixed it, my friend. You got the entire weekend off, kid. No wiring up. What's that, Rhett?
Hello. No more buzz?
Yeah, look, you sound great.
Great.
Perfect. Just talk the same way into the microphone each time. Thanks. So, Lummy, you said the Nashes and a few electrical people called in.
Yeah, Bubba are proud. They said that it's BS.
It's BS.
Brian from Philly, who works for the electrical company, said it's BS.
Here's something I kind of like.
Conspiracy.
Here's something I kind of like. These are by the way, these are the 39 coolest new gifts and gadgets to gift or get yourself for this holiday year. This is something I kind of like. It's a light bulb camera, and Lummy, you can put like a 64 gigabyte SD card in it.
Oh, that's cool.
So that you don't have to have monitor. Really at the end of the day, you really don't monitor your cameras unless something happened. Right? You don't go and just check I have Blink cameras all throughout.
Yeah, but does this send it anywhere?
I don't know.
So they could just take it out.
Just take the camera with you. It's like,
I don't know. And this looks real. I don't know if I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, because they just take the SD card.
Yeah, I mean, a bad guy could just come up, unscrew it, and take the camera with him.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. How much is it?
I don't know. Lemmy's in charge of all that.
All right, I'll look.
Here's some kind of scrubber that looks stupid. That I guess you can scrub off scuff marks and things like that. That doesn't look extraordinary.
$30.
This next one, as warm as you like to be. You like to be control. Maybe Anna. Definitely, I know when I'm getting a merch crick for Christmas because that bitch is always cold. Right here. The new unisex heated vest will keep you warm. I think it runs off batteries, and it's got these heat deals these heat coil kind of deals that you put in. I mean, I'm sorry that are in the jacket, and I guess it's battery operated, and it warms you.
It's a great idea.
Winters on us again. It's that time of year when you have to wear 3 or more layers of vest and coats to stay warm. True, if you have, the way you stay warm in cold weather is they say to layer. You layer things. Well, you could have 3 or 4 layers on, and stay, or just have this one little vest on and it's heating the hell out of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool as hell. I don't think for Florida.
Well, it's probably not too necessary in Florida, but I mean, when a Florida person goes like up north, we suffer because we're so not used to it.
Or BRP gets cold sometimes.
Four heating pads on the back, front, and neck heat up instantaneously at the simple press of a button. Durable fabrics are water and wind resistant. With a built-in battery system, you can nice and toast for up to 16 hours on one charge. 3 heating levels allow you to set your desired temperature by delivering the perfect amount of heat for any situation. Just charge it up, and you're ready to battle the cold all day. That actually looks like something pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think Merch Crick would be able to zip it up all the way, but how much is it?
It's $100 for Merch Crick, and for Bubba and I, $150.
Because they're bigger.
Yeah.
I do not want one. But
yeah, $100 for Merch Crick.
I'm going to get one for the Merch Crick.
If you've ever been really cold and you're stuck outside, you'd be like, I'd definitely give $100 not to be freezing my ass off right now.
Yeah, it's miserable.
It's miserable.
It's being cold's worse than being hot, because being hot, like, you really can't really get, you really, if you just get into some shade and don't move, you're not going to die. But being cold, man, you can't, like, if you've exhausted all the layers and you're out in the elements, being cold, I think that's far more deadly.
It is. It's factually more deadly, Bubba.
Yeah.
I mean, more people die in the cold than they do in the heat.
Right. More homeless people die in the wintertime than they do the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this next thing's a bunch of bull crap, I think, because I've heard that this whole aspect of being able to put something on your foot to extract the toxins is bunk. Now, what's your as a doctor, what's your opinion on that concept? How you can put something on your feet like
I've never seen anything like
onions
that before.
or things like that, and it'll extract stuff. Have you heard of that?
It maybe extract stuff from your foot, but not from your whole body. I don't buy it. I think it's
So this is
pseudoscience.
This is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So realistically, Lummy, the only 2 things that we're going to buy so far is the vest and maybe the drone, right?
I thought the sheets. I thought the sheets.
Yeah.
I think the sheets are a good idea.
Sheets, drone, vest. Put that down, Lummy. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now, Lummy, this might be something, since you're a golfer. World's most advanced golf tee. It's a must-have for golfers. So I'm assuming, Lummy, the way that it's made, it maybe so that it cuts out the slice, maybe.
I'm looking at it. It looks like
The front's gone of the tee, so you don't have that lip in the front to mess with the ball. Ideally, they've had tees like this for years. This is not the first time I've seen a tee shape like this.
All right, so you're out of here.
Yeah.
This looks dumb as hell.
Plus, you'll look like a douche in front of your golfing friends.
Right here. So this looks dumb as hell. This Magic Kick, the accident-proof soccer ball, brings fun for the whole family. First of all, when my family's playing this thing, I'm taking it and absolutely throwing it outside.
No way the floor's that clean.
Yeah, not only is the floor not that clean, but I don't want a bunch of kids, playing soccer in my kitchen on my marble.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. Dumbest gift ever, that one.
Unless it had like a vacuum underneath it, then it'd be
if
good.
it was vacuuming the whole entire time, that'd be great.
Roomba.
Yeah. Kick, play Roomba. The military
I've seen that
method
before.
used to lose weight is all the rage. Is this bunk too?
It's muscle stimulation. I don't know if it's gonna do much.
Is it more like a tinge unit for your belly?
Mm-hmm. Exactly what it is.
Capital One, stop over. What are these, Lummy?
These are
Earbuds? These earbuds?
Yeah, but
AirPods.
Thank you for the best deal on Amazon, a big store, blah blah blah.
that's
It might just be an ad.
yeah.
That's just an ad. Thanks. And I'm kind of getting over all this whole deal. The irresistible car keeps kids off their phones and on computer. No, that's stupid.
No.
Kids are never going to get off their phones, they're not, let alone some stupid little spongy little transformer car. I'd step on it immediately.
Yeah, kick it.
The world's first hearing aids for less than 100. Hold on, that might be something I need. For real. I could use some of this kind of. Let me write that down. Something I might buy.
Hearing aid.
Like even this morning, me and the Crick are at the Clem gym working out. She's talking, but she's talking away from me,
No, that's the
not
worst.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I drop my weight. I go, I can't hear a fucking word you're saying. You know you're supposed to face. You got to face me. I'm deaf. I've been wearing headphones for 40 years. I'm deaf. Instantly back up and protect your photos and videos from every device. Lummy, what is this?
It looks like you just plug it in.
It looks like a 4-way. I don't know what is it.
It looks like it's a thumb drive. Pretty much, you plug it in your thumb drive, and it just has all the ports for your phones.
Yeah,
stupid.
Is that stupid too?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
waste of money.
Right. An entire toolbox with a single key.
What?
What's this thing supposed to be? Like a wrench and like a I got to see more about this. It's what's it called, Lummy? It's called
Keysmo?
the Keysmo. Let's see how the Keysmo works. Okay, let me see here.
That's
it doesn't even okay. It's a protractor. It's a wire stripper. It's a multi-bit screwdriver, slotted Phillips square and combo. It's a 1/4-inch bit driver. It's a bottle opener, a wire stripper, a wire bender, a serrated edge, a 1/4-inch open wrench, a metric closed wrench, an imperial closed wrench, a lanyard hold, a scoring tip, a file, a ruler, a metric ruler, a protractor, and a 12-point universal wrench. I'd have to see it do every one. I guess it's showing me all of them, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're like this guy here and you're going up in the mountains and you probably need to maybe bring something like that, right?
It's $15.
Other than that, man, the regular dude doesn't need to have any of that. I mean, please, get yourself a real tool set there, big boy. All right, I've seen enough. What's the chill pill? The handheld device that helps you fall asleep in minutes.
Oh,
yeah,
I'd love
right.
to see that.
So do pills. These miracle socks are undoing decades of damage to our feet in just weeks. What are they saying? That
nonsense.
Again, another medical nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, Lemmy. We got pests in here.
Oh yeah.
Keep your home pest free this season. We just plug in these things and you hit a button and it makes all the cockroaches want to go home.
Looks like it. Does it do anything for rats?
I'm calling bunk on that too. Calling bunk on all this. Out of here. See you later. No more article. So now, Lummy, I think we did a show like maybe a week or two ago when this bitch dropped charges on Diddy.
Yes.
Remember?
Yep.
Or like, is Diddy in trouble again? Well, it looks like the lawsuit that his ex, which by the way, his ex is beautiful. Is she not?
Cassie?
Yeah.
You don't remember her?
Mm-mm.
Me and you now. I've been waiting. Think about a move right now. You don't remember that song?
No, but I know
would say
that
she
the
probably got some
picture,
airplay because
the
of
pictures that
P.
she's
Diddy.
showing, the pictures of her on this deal is pretty. She's pretty hot.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
You should have seen her when she was like 21. Here, I'll send you a video.
Anyway, it looks like, Dan, that she dropped it. So when you drop it, that means they've settled. As reported, it was a Friday when both Casey and Diddy announced that they had settled the lawsuit. Cassie decided that I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my fans, my family, and the lawyers for their unwavering support. Diddy's statement read, "We've decided to resolve this matter amicably, and I wish Casey and her family the very best."
With all my money I gave her.
God, can you imagine?
I'll send you the music video. I think you'll like it.
And this is what he fell in love with? Like, is this...
Yeah, I think he made her. Yeah, this is like making the Band-Aids.
Oh,
he was
really?
Taking she wasn't part of that, but
so he...
This chick...
He found out how old was she and how old was he when they first hooked up?
I don't know. She was probably like, 20, and he was...
50?
40, I don't know.
Is it like an R. Kelly deal or a...
No,
or,
I don't
Hold
think
on,
so.
is it a legal R. Kelly deal?
Well, then it wouldn't really be an R. Kelly deal, would it?
Yeah, I'm right.
You're right, Bubba.
Baby, tell me if you like it.
I mean, he's just a big hotshot record guy.
Look at the phone.
that can get her a deal and make her a hit record and make her a household name.
Yeah.
But she's got to give Big Papa some ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. Like the R. Kelly Aaliyah thing.
That's an R. Kelly deal. R. Kelly just tends to dabble in some numbers that are somewhat not appropriate.
Right.
You can do that to a 20-year-old.
Oh, sure.
Hell, you can do that to an 18-year-old in 15 seconds. Like, she just turned 18 15 seconds ago. You can do that to her, too, no matter how old you are.
So did the suit allege that he was inappropriate with her during her rise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, she
dating.
should give him a percentage of her income then.
When they were dating together.
Oh.
Yeah. They dated for 10 years.
No, I do not. We might travel in different circles. I'm sorry.
She was 21.
I was playing the new Creed and Three Doors Down records while you were playing the new Cassie. Did P. Diddy end up marrying?
No, they
Did she
dated.
marry? Did they? Oh, so they never married?
No, they were just.
So she got all that money just on a dating deal?
Mm-hmm.
Woo! I'm tired of bitches.
So now she's close to 40. And,
yeah, he's close. It's close to 40. He's over it, right? He's on to the next 21-year-old, right?
Yeah, she's 37.
She's 37. P. Diddy does. He's ageless. He doesn't time out.
He really doesn't.
He really doesn't.
He looks the same. Awesome.
I saw the whole. I saw the. It teased me a little bit with the. There it is.
Nick Hogan.
The Nick Hogan deal.
I sent you that story that Macho talked about with the Taylor Swift concert. He sent me a video to send you.
Why don't you send it to me?
I did.
And what's it about?
The Taylor Swift. I guess people were dying. It was too hot at her concert.
Oh, in Argentina or something?
Brazil, I guess.
Oh, Brazil.
She get in trouble for that because it was too hot.
I guess so.
Probably.
I think that's what Macho was talking about.
I mean, you didn't. Oh, you didn't send me anything.
Did it?
I'm looking at what you sent me right here, buddy. Oh, it just now, Pat. It just now came through. I think you say. I think sometimes I catch you and then
Taylor Swift, in fact, was.
And then you send it after I caught
I resend it. I resend it again.
Actually, back on stage last night in Brazil. This is following the singer canceling her Saturday performance because of extreme heat, extreme conditions, and this after a 23-year-old fan died after attending Friday's show. The cause of death.
Now, how can that be her fault? It can't be.
It's too hot, and she thought it wasn't safe to have another show.
No. Oh, so nobody's suing Taylor Swift. She's not in
I don't
trouble.
think so.
Oh,
She's
the person
actually
that died will be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The forecast, they knew it was going to be that hot. They should have
But
canceled.
it's not her fault. It's not. I mean, she just gets up there and sings. Whether the promoter wants, it's not her responsibility. I don't think as the entertainer, contractually, Dan, they have probably 150-page, contract of who's responsible for what. And I'm sure that the promoter had to buy event insurance for for stuff like this.
A big policy.
And that the performer in the contract states that they are not liable for stuff like this that happens. That their attorneys are doing that.
You would hope.
Has not been announced, but fans complain.
But fans, all they think of is, Taylor Swift, bunch of money. Let's go after Taylor Swift. It's her fault that it was 100. It's Taylor's fault.
Of extreme temperatures and not being allowed to take water into the stadium.
Now, see, and again, that's
policy.
not.
It's a policy. It's not her fault.
It's not Taylor. Taylor Swift doesn't have the who can bring water in policy.
A similar thing happened at Sunset Music Festival a couple of years ago, where you weren't allowed to bring any water bottles in, and a couple people died. So now you can bring in water and water bottles.
And then they have
and
stations.
They have free water. Yes, free water stations.
Right,
yes,
they have stations
exactly.
where you just put your little bottle up there and they'll fill it up for
before you have to buy it.
Trust me, they had to get sued into doing that.
Right. Well, a lot of policies are based off of lawsuits, and so
no doubt.
Well, most policies are based off of
Well, we have
lawsuits.
seatbelts and the bars in your baby crib are closer together, and
it's all case
lawsuit.
law.
Yeah.
It's all lawsuit that turns into case law, right, Danny?
Mm-hmm.
Canadian first, Cindy Nguyen.
I mean, I don't even know if you could have a trial if you didn't have case law, because you have to be able to refute. You have to be able to.
You need statutes and case law.
Yeah, you got to have statutes and case law to be able to navigate through your lawsuit, or otherwise it's just you telling a story.
Right. There's
Who
got
was
to be
at
rules.
the show Friday, joins us now from Rio de Janeiro.
She made it okay.
Yeah.
Cindy
Nigel.
I have
can
plenty
you tell
water.
us more
What's her name?
about
Last name?
the conditions?
Probably win.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But I I am guilty of when I see win spelled as Nigel, and before my little brain kicks in and said that's a win. I've been known.
I know.
I think you might be impressed that I knew it was a win.
That's why, I asked you again.
At the venue and just how hot it was.
Well, my boobs were sweating like you wouldn't believe.
Absolutely. The venue was not prepared at all for the extreme heat that we have here. So outside it was about 33 degrees Celsius, but with the heat index, we went up to 60 degrees Celsius.
All right, Dan,
the only
so what's
thing that
that?
was there for us were the street vendors that offered umbrellas and water for us to...
Dan, what's 60 degrees Celsius?
38 degrees is 101. So
hey, Alexa.
66 degrees would be about 120.
It's 1.8 plus 32. So...
Hey, or we can just ask her.
60 times.
Ask Alexa.
1.8.
What was the number? She said it was 100 and what?
67 Celsius.
67. No,
that
just
feels
60 degrees Celsius.
60.
152.
Hey, Alexa, how much is 60 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit?
60 degrees Celsius is 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Come on, dude. How could it be that hot?
Here's the thing.
Maybe because they're all packed in together.
But here's the deal, Dan. Like, if you're at a race or something like that, or you're out in the environment and you're on blacktop, you could take a meter and a section of blacktop that's right dead balls in the sun could get up to that, during the day. Doesn't mean
with
that
thousands of people around you.
Doesn't mean that, your body is absorbing all 160. It makes it probably... That is a very, very hot area, but I mean, your tennis shoes aren't burning off or nothing like that, I don't think.
I don't think they're sticking to the ground.
Yeah. 160 might have been what somebody shot the temperature at on a piece of blacktop.
Or metal.
But the ambient temperature was not that.
They said the high that day was a 102.4.
Purchase, but they actually confiscated all of those items, including hand fans, before we were able to go inside the stadium. Inside the stadium.
Yeah, now, hey, the promoter is going to get its ass sued off. If you took the fans, you didn't allow them to bring water in, you didn't allow them to bring in empty water bottles that you had free water stations at, you're done. You're done. You are done.
But these people are no strangers to heat.
No, but Dan, you have to, as a promoter, try to do what you can to keep them hydrated and alive during your event.
I think you're right. I think the promoter will be exposed. I think the policies were bad.
I think it's super crowded. There's thousands of people. It's super hot, and they're all trying dancing and moving around.
Yeah, and and let's not forget that it's probably $10 for a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget that.
Right. They're ripping them off with the water.
Yeah,
right.
There was nothing there to help prevent the extreme heat. So there were no air mist, air conditioning, or even fans. So
Open air.
Even assist with the extreme heat. So we just basically sat there and baked.
Like, I've seen music festivals before where they have these huge people misters, like on either side of this, like it's constantly blowing, kind of like a small little,
like your produce.
Yes, exactly, and it's given a little bit, just a little bit of relief on the heatness, and you're getting a little bit on your, it feels good. It's great. Mm-hmm. You can, and they have those systems made for these large gatherings
under the sun.
That's a weird headline. Do you see the headline at the bottom? Canadian attended Friday's Taylor Swift concert in Brazil where fan passed away. So who's the Canadian?
The girl talking.
Oh, okay.
Can you tell us a little more about the situation?
There you go. That's all you got to do is buy one of those cups. And Dan, how much this will bring your ambient body temperature down? This is like, this you don't have to be a doctor to know that if you're overheating, this is all you got to do.
Can you tell us a little more about the situation when it came to
because your head is where about 90% of your heat resonates from, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Is from it comes from that's the premise of wearing a stock. It's a premise of wearing a stocking cap in the winter is if you can keep your head warm, then your body kind of follows your head.
Yes.
So if this girl's blasting herself with water over her head, I guarantee you, man, her body is loving it.
What about the situation when it came to water? Because as you just said, when you arrived at the show, you and everybody entering,
Hell yeah.
you were told to finish your water before heading inside. And then we understand during the show, security actually started handing out water to some, but not to
after the first one took a lick, Dan, they got together and said, man, no more $10 water. Hand it out as fast as you can. We got one that took a lick, and then we don't need any more taking a lick. So what we were going to make on water, we're going to have to spend on a lawsuit now.
To everybody.
Someone said something else interesting in chat, and that was that the venue closed the air vents so that people outside couldn't hear. So even further destroyed the ventilation.
The natural ventilation that the stadium may get. They have these doors that they open up through various parts of the stadium to allow the breeze to kind of go through. And you can close them sometimes. You can't. You close them for security purposes. And they closed these, which would have been probably somewhat of a ventilation relief. They closed them because they didn't want people to be able to hear the sound that they wanted you to have to buy a ticket for, right?
Yep.
Sounds like some real wedge mother effers.
Yeah. Well, I think the promoter's going to go down, and
I hope he does.
his greed
I hope he does.
is going to make him suffer.
I hope he does.
About that.
They started to hand out the water pretty early on, just before the show started, because people were already starting to faint, starting to not feel well. I was pretty close to the barricades, so where I was able to get.
And let's be honest, that's not a large I need a lot more water than that.
Yeah.
I need about 4 of those, 2 to drink and 2 to blast on my body.
Access to the water. But when we had more general fans come in, the people that were selling.
People don't realize, man, dehydration will kill you.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and Dan, doesn't dehydration trigger a whole bunch of problems in itself?
Yes.
Dehydration can cause a heart attack.
Yes, it can.
The water can't do it. So that's where the free water came in. And if you were in the middle of the pit, there was no way it was going to get to you because the first couple of rows were already getting it.
Cindy,
I would have taken a big ass hose, and just soaked them.
Just get a big fire hose in
Did
there.
you find out that someone had passed away? And
I get on stage and be like, listen, this section right here, I'm going to be blasting a bunch of water on. So get out of that section if you don't want to get wet. But I'm trying to cool everybody down.
Given the extreme conditions, were you surprised to hear this?
We didn't hear the news about someone passing away until the following morning when Taylor Swift announced it in her Instagram story. In terms of us, we were shocked because of this extreme heat, because they did give options for people to leave or move to the back and all that. But it was pretty difficult.
All right. Well, Cindy,
Cindy, thanks. Appreciate it. Here's the bottom line. If you're a concert promoter, and you're not going to allow, and it's 102 degrees Fahrenheit at your concert, and it's a big stadium, and you've closed the ventilation doors, and you don't allow your patrons that have bought a ticket to your event to bring in a bottle, like a empty bottle of water, and they have drinking stations around. That's not allowed. You've not allowed them to bring in their personal little hand fans. You've ditched those. You've not allowed them to bring in any liquid or water at all. The only thing you're allowing to bring in is probably their phone and themselves and their money. And in doing so, people die of dehydration or heat-related injury. That's on you. You're gonna go you're gonna go down for that, as you should, for being too greedy. Too greedy.
Yep. Sounds like it.
Judge rules that. ASAP Rocky must stand trial on felony charges that he fired a gun at a former friend.
Oh, nice.
Now,
he just had a kid.
Los Angeles judge found Monday that there was enough evidence for ASAP Rocky to stand trial for allegations that he fired a gun at a former friend and collaborate or whatever outside of a Hollywood hotel in 2021. So did he just fire it up in the air like, yeah, or did he fire it at the guy? The judge made the ruling at the preliminary hearing after hearing roughly a day and a half of testimony. Rocky had pled not guilty to 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic. Ooh, Dan, that sounds pretty. That sounds actually pretty scary. If I'm facing that, 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. That sounds like 10 years to me, doesn't it?
Sure does.
His attorney attempted to cast doubt on the case while questioning a police detective.
Looks like they got into kind of an altercation, and he fired it, and it grazed the guy's knuckles.
Oh, you're done. You're
Made
done.
contact.
You're done.
Yeah.
Rihanna's gonna be a single mama.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're done. Like, if he just fired it erratically into the air, trying to be the gangster that he
brandishing
is,
it and just shooting it in the air.
then that's one thing. But when you fire it close enough that
Someone bleeds.
somebody's knuckles got grazed, ask Shannon Burke, man. Grazing doesn't go good.
Nope.
You can't graze anybody. You got it. If you're going to shoot a gun at somebody, or you're just trying to fun with them or be a dick, you got to shoot it up in the air or like completely opposite direction of them. If you're just doing it for effect, then you got a chance to get out of it. But when you're getting as close as grazing somebody, you're done.
Yeah.
ASAP Rocky, nice knowing you, buddy. Attempted assault with a automatic firearm, you're done. And who was he married to? Rihanna?
Yeah, they have 2 kids together. 2 young sons.
Wow.
What? Can you dig into it deeper and see what type of charges? Like how many years is he facing?
All right.
Let's see.
How many? Maybe I should ask Alexa. Hey, Alexa, how many years is ASAP Rocky facing for firing a gun at his friend?
Here's what I found from the web. Rapper A$AP Rocky has been ordered to stand trial on 2 counts of assault with a firearm by a Los Angeles judge. $AP Rocky will stand trial for allegedly shooting a gun at a childhood friend in 2021, a judge ruled. Was that helpful?
Not really.
Faces up to 9 years.
9?
Thanks for your feedback.
He'll get 4.5, 5. Rihanna's gonna have to raise him babies, buy her. And just think about it. You're on top of the world right now. You're married to Rihanna.
A billionaire.
She's like a billionaire, yeah.
She's a billionaire.
She's a billionaire. You're on
He's
top.
got money too.
He's probably worth.
Let's see.
He's probably worth $50 million.
Let's see.
A$AP Rocky net worth.
Hey, Alexa, what's A$AP Rocky's net worth? Thought Anna would be in there.
A$AP Rocky is worth an estimated $20 million US dollars.
Yeah. So he needs her. $20 million at his rate and how he lives ain't gonna last him forever. Her $1 billion that's forever money. That's generational wealth.
Oh, no doubt.
He messed that up, and she's not gonna want to be with him, right?
Yeah. Why?
Sometimes I feel like she'd like to be like a mob wife.
It'd be interesting to look at the statistic as saying what's the divorce or stay with rate for people that serve over 5 years in prison, right? Like, that would be kind of an interesting fact. What's the divorce rate?
Well, it's 50-50 even if you're a church-going virgin.
Right. There's 50-50 whether you've never spent a day in jail for ever. It's 50-50 if you're a preacher. Right? Like, you can be the nicest man in the world and I think the divorce rate is over 50-50. So I wonder what the divorce.
It's different for different people.
Yeah. Well, how is it for people serving over 5 years in federal prison?
Probably not very good.
Probably not
Are
very good.
they even married?
I don't know.
He'd probably get paid, though, once he gets out.
I don't think they're married.
From Ariana.
Probably. When I come back, I think this is kind of like I got several different directions I can hit on this, and that's the Jets. Joe Namath of the Jets is now being accused of the camps that he used to run for little boys, like football camps, Joe Namath's football camps. Guys used to do this and make a couple $100,000 in the summertime. And he's some dude saying that 51 years ago, Joe employed a guy that touched this kid's wiener or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
51.
Why now? Is it because he threatened to return to football because of Aaron Rodgers? I mean, what is it?
I know we're gonna look into it.
Find a safe place and stay there. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse asked him for advice.
Oh God.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
His old 71 said the divorce rates hit a 50-year low.
Because less people are getting married.
Let me know if you need anything.
It's fewer.
Thank you.
I hate when you make that mistake.
Oh,
You can
sorry.
count it.
Yeah,
It's
I
fewer.
understand. Yeah, sorry. I was just like, what?
There's less marriage in the air, but there's fewer
I
marriages.
get it. If you have fewer than 10 items.
No, there's nothing to do with 10. If you can count it.
No, I'm thinking about like the Publix lines where it'll say less than 10, but it should be fewer than 10 items.
Fewer, yeah.
Yeah, fewer is numbers and less is like volume.
Right.
I get it. I called her his wife, but I don't think that they are. She doesn't really have good radar when it comes to men.
Who?
Rihanna. She's with Chris Brown.
No, she found love in
A hopeless place?
A hopeless place.
I love that song.
Bubba, since you're eating right now, do you want Mantra to
RZA.
schedule a parody coming out of the break?
Yeah.
Riot.
Yes, watch.
RZA and Riot are her boys' names.
What's up, Big Longer?
Oh, what a happy family. Baby's cute as fuck.
Is that Rihanna's fat arm?
She just gave birth.
Oh, like we would just gave birth.
I think so. Let's give her a break. Let's just give her a break. Okay, I mean, like, it happens. It happens. Okay. Let's give her some grace.
It was the worst concert I've ever been to.
What?
Rihanna.
You saw her
I
concert?
saw her concert years ago.
Where?
Worst concert I've ever been to.
Why?
It was because she like lip synced it. Her opening act looked like she gave the guy maybe $5 to do. It may have been this guy, ASAP. It was horrible.
Was that Raymond James I went in?
No, it was it fucking Emily.
Oh.
She mailed in. It was like one big medley of all of her songs. It was the worst.
Did you
fucking
take your
concert.
kids or something? Or?
No, I went with Romina.
Oh.
It's horrible.
You didn't like her music?
I liked her music.
Oh, okay.
I like Rihanna's music. They're fun. She had
Yeah.
there's 2-year period. She had like 15 hot songs.
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, I know.
It was,
I love Rihanna.
it was, it was good music. And I think she's hot, and I liked her in that stupid movie Battleship.
She was in a movie?
Horrible movie.
I mean, come on, Battleship was the best movie ever.
Horrible.
I didn't know she acted.
Horrible movie. Yeah, we're gonna take down a UFO with a World War II battleship.
What the fuck?
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, I want to see Drake, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I didn't realize that like ticket fees are like $100.
They're like a bunch of sharks circling in the water, searching for blood or any sign of weakness, and are ready to strike. This is the Bubba the Love Sponge.
As tan as my chest now.
Penis. My beard.
It's warm.
Penis.
He's bigger than you. He's bigger than me. It's his Dan Diaco. Dr. Dan.
Speaking of which, how did your there's good surgery days, there's bad surgery days, there's challenging surgery days, there's I nailed it surgery days. Where does yesterday's surgery day?
Nailed it.
Oh, you nailed it.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Straight nailed it.
Yeah, today hopefully it'll be a good day as well. I have to leave. I have to leave. Like maybe a couple minutes before 9. Just.
Oh, another surgery day?
Yes, because it's Thanksgiving.
Oh, you love surgery days. That's the big money days. Those are the day. Surgery days are the ones that pay for those fancy cars now.
Yeah, and those are also the days where I can talk or not talk. I can be chatty all day, and I can just be quiet all day. I can talk as much as I want.
Do they get to tip to the nurses and the scrub techs and all the anesthesiologists? And okay, so like, let's just say for a boob job, that's what you're most noted for. But you do lipo, and you do tummy tucks, and you do
facelifts,
rhinoplasty, and facelifts, and you do all types of things that require you to be at a surgery center, not just boob jobs. But boob jobs are what bread
and butter.
Right. How many people are in the operating room while you're doing your work during a boob job?
Okay, it's me and my first assistant, Nora.
Right.
Then there's a scrub nurse, which is the third person.
Right.
A circulator, which is an RN that's not scrubbed in but manages the room.
Okay.
And then the anesthesiologist.
5. Now, when you said the scrub nurse who's not scrubbed in, but she's managing the room, what does that mean?
She's a circulator.
I mean the circulator.
Yeah, so that's what Evia does now. She's an RN, and she runs the room. She does all the documentation in the room. She's, if you need something, she gets it. She hands you stuff that's in the package sterilely. So she's that interface between.
Now, besides, are you in that world? Are you number one?
Yeah,
by far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you're running the room, right?
Yes,
it's your room
until there's a medical crisis, and then me and the anesthesiologist become a team.
Okay. But all those guys are scared of you.
Yeah.
I mean, because
not scared, but they don't bow up because usually it's in an argument between the surgeon and the anesthesiologist. The surgeon always wins.
Do you prefer a female or a male anesthesiologist?
I have no preference.
No
I think
preference.
they're both equal. Just like men and women are equal professionally in most contexts.
Can you tell within on a brand new anesthesiologist, on a brand new one? Can you tell within the first 10 minutes whether you like them?
Oh yeah.
And whether they know what they're doing?
Yep.
And whether you need to be on them or not?
Yep. And so something I do that's a little different is I run my cases with the drape down. So you've seen surgeries where there's like a big drape covering the patient, and then often it goes up like a curtain between the field and the anesthesiologist. I keep mine down. And the reason is that way I'm paying attention to them, and it makes them pay more attention to me.
Well, as far as like being able to visually have eye contact with them.
Yeah, and I can see the monitors. I can see everything. I can hear everything. I can see what's going on.
Now,
I can see their adjustments.
Have you ever had one make an adjustment that you knew was unnecessary and you didn't like, and then they tried to give you the, I'm an anesthesiologist, you're a boob doctor,
that didn't go well for him.
Well, I know. I'm assuming it didn't, and I was kind of wanting you to kind of give me just a little back in the days. No names mentioned, but just give me a little story. One time I had this anesthesiologist, and I looked over there, and it was an 18, and I knew it should have been a 22. So, again, I'm just completely pulling things out of my ass. And so I asked him, why isn't it a 22? And they're like, well, Dan, because it needs to be an 18 because of the flip blip with the blop blop. And you're like, oh, no, bitch. It needs to be a 22. I've done a zillion of these things. Don't you dare try to tell me what the hell. So I'm sure it's probably similar to that.
The biggest fight I have with anesthesia is blood pressure and paralysis. And so, like yesterday, for instance, something was completely dry. I look back in it, and then now everything's like bleeding a little bit. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, the pressure's 120. That's not abnormal. It is when it was 105 minutes ago, and all of a sudden everything starts bleeding. He's like, oh.
So did he say I'll? Did he say I'll? Yeah. I mean, and did he?
Yeah, he did.
What's the typical conflict that you want them to go deeper and they don't?
No, my typical conflict is that's a good question. The typical conflict is they don't paralyze the muscle enough, because when you're doing a breast augmentation and you're banging off the muscle, when you cauterize it, it retracts and it causes more bleeding. And
you want that muscle not to have any reaction to when you're messing with it, right?
Which is a different component than them, quote, going deeper?
Yep, two completely different things.
Okay.
Is one blood pressure related and the other one might be under, like as far as medicine related?
The weird thing is it's all related. So if you're in pain, your blood pressure goes up, your pulse rate goes up. So those are things associated with pain.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. If you're doing a boob job on a girl and she's under, but her body might not be under the way you want it, will it start responding like that? And then you see that?
Yes.
And hopefully they've seen it before you and they're already making adjustments. It's probably when you have to ask them. You can probably see them when they start making adjustments. It's when they're not making adjustments that you flip out, probably.
Correct.
And like if you see, okay, they see the same thing you do, they start, doing their stuff, hitting their
I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'm cool with it. But if they're not paying attention to it, if they're ignoring it, if they don't think it's a big deal, then
now,
sometimes
do you ever
I freak
get some real kick-ass ones that'll be like, Dan, you think I need to throw a little something more on there? Like, do you have that kind of, do they communicate with you?
Yes.
And do you appreciate that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I like to have a conversation with them. I don't like it to be two completely different, independent procedures. Like they're doing their thing, and we have to communicate, because sometimes I'm about to do something that's very stimulating, and sometimes they're all numbed up, and what I'm doing is not stimulating, and so you don't need to run them as deeply.
So you if you got along with one, you'd be like, hey Jim, I'm getting ready to go do a flip blop blopper. Can you give me a little bit? Yep, I got you, bud. No problem.
And they're the best. The ones that actually, especially the ones that know me and have watched me operate, and they know what's coming up. You don't have to talk to them about it. They know ahead of time.
How cool is it to get the dude that's a half a step ahead of you because he's worked with you 50 times and he knows what you like?
Well, that's what they try to do, is keep people in my room that know me and work with me 50 times. So the biggest fight that I get into is
brand new ones.
Right. But the blood pressure, if they don't keep the blood pressure down, I bitch and moan. I'll just sit there and stop. I'll stop, fold my hands on the patient. I'm like, wait. I'm not going forward to get the pressure down. And then they freak out and they call for help, and But the other problem is,
next thing you know,
why don't they want to do that? Because they feel like
they just
it's
can't
risky?
For some reason. No, they just are struggling with it. Sometimes they struggle with it.
Oh.
I mean, it's a fine equation. They need to,
It's sailing a boat. It's adjustments. Yes, it's a
small
fine equation.
adjustments.
Small adjustments, and you
When
have to
you're
wait a
doing,
moment.
and I got to think with anesthesiology, when you're doing big swings at things, you're in trouble.
Yes.
It's like everything is just a feather. You're just feathering it here, feathering it there, making sure the pressure is where you want it. Ideally, is there a number? Is there a specific blood pressure number that you like? Is it like 80 over, or like what's a good one that doesn't produce a lot of blood?
Something like between like 95 and 105 over about 70. That's good while you're in surgery.
Right. Now, while you're getting out of surgery and maybe suturing is up, is that when he starts laying a little bit more on there?
No, at the end, that's when they're tapering it off. They're trying to wake the guy up.
That's what I'm
woman
saying.
up.
Laying off the the TT99 and maybe throwing back you getting to be a wake up. So Dan, while you're suturing, are they trying to kind of they're kind of slowly bringing you back to life?
Mm-hmm.
And then they time. All of us has all of us had surgeries where you woke up in a recovery room?
I have.
Yeah.
No, I got my wisdom teeth out. Okay, then no.
But I mean, like Rat, have you ever woke up in a recovery room?
No, never had surgery.
Never had. Mach? I'm not going to answer that. Fifth. But I mean, man, and when you wake up in a recovery room, it's like you wake up and it takes you about 2 minutes to get your bearings about yourself. You're like, okay, hold on. I don't really quite remember any of this. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's right. I had surgery at Dr. Dan today. Let me see. Okay, all right.
Everything's still there.
But it takes a little bit to shake the cobwebs out, and you don't remember any of it.
Amnestic. You're completely amnestic. It's kind of like a reboot of your computer. You know what I mean? It takes a moment for everything to start kind of like firing up and getting back up to normal.
Can I ask a stupid question? Who invented that? Because who invented?
Amnesia?
I mean, for the longest times. I mean, how many times have we seen a cowboy movie, or we've seen a Cowboys and Indians movie, or we see a Civil War movie, or something like that, where somebody gets shot and they give a guy like a thing of whiskey and a bullet to bite, and the guy comes in there and sews him up, or
saws off his leg,
cuts off half of his leg, so Dan, when did? There was a part, there was obviously when people started, who discovered anesthesiology?
Well, I think anesthesiology sort of evolved. In the very beginning, what they would do is they just put cocaine in the area because it would numb it. Then they started dripping ether, and ether was wonderful until it blew up because it was very flammable. And so they would literally...
So you'd literally be in there working on a guy to be a Kiss concert?
Yep.
For real?
So I know anesthesiologists that actually used to drip ether back in the day, and that was they literally put a towel or a cloth over your face, and they would drip ether on it, and you'd inhale it, and you'd stay asleep. It's very inexact.
Wow, give me 2 drops. Give me 3 drops. Right?
Yep. Little by little, you're just titrating it.
So what were those? Was in the 50s? Was that in the 40s?
50s.
All right. So when did they discover the ether gimmick?
Well, they started doing ethers probably in the 30s, 20s, and 30s. They started using it, and then eventually they got into a closed system. They started using byproducts of ether.
No. We're going backwards. Let's go backwards. What was there something to put you asleep before ether?
They would give you cocaine in the area of the wounds. Sometimes they'd give you some other the alcohol.
But it would be more of a wound-related deal. Based on the geographical area that you're having worked on compared to you going completely full body sleepy TT99.
But they started doing ether around the 20s and 30s, and that made a huge difference because you could actually put people to sleep without destroying them.
But before that, man,
strap them.
Would they have to sometimes? I got to think, honest to God, if I'm going in there and they're like, Mr. Clem, we have to cut you, we have to amputate you from the knee on down, which is probably not an uncommon thing for various reasons, whether I was in a war, whether I got gangrene, whether I broke my leg, whatever. I mean, Dan, there could be several different reasons why an able-bodied male would have to get his leg amputated. It was in a wreck. I fell off a cliff, whatever. But this is in 1902, okay, Dan? And they got to take off my left leg from the knee on down. Would they literally strap you onto it, and there's no ether, there's none of that nonsense? Would they literally strap you down, and then get out the hacksaw.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
they do a knife first and then the hacksaw.
Okay.
I mean, does there come a point where your body suffers so much trauma that it'll knock itself out?
Yep, passes out. It's a very, very functional reflex.
So I've heard of that, but I've never really talked to a doctor about it like you. So there is there is an aspect of you could be going through so much pain that, well, you know, Dan, when I did my parachuting thing,
passed you out.
I was in so much pain that when I hit the ground, I was passed out.
Mm-hmm.
I was blacked out.
Did you feel the dog bite you?
No, I didn't. I did not feel the dog bite me, and I didn't even come. Like, it took me like maybe 15, like kind of like a rear. How long does it take, Anna, usually to recover from a rear naked choke when you go to sleep? Maybe
a few seconds.
Maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Well, I mean, you're probably the only one. You're probably the only one that's suffered that.
I think it was like 5 seconds. Him waking me up.
Yes, when we hit the ground and the dog bit me, I still don't remember all that, but I suddenly came to and then looked down at my legs, Dan, and it looked like somebody had spray painted up, taken Krylon spray paint. And Dan, you've done my leg surgery, so you're familiar with that area.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan, like medically, Dan, what did that? Those straps basically just hemorrhaged all of
It ripped the skin. It ripped all the dermis, the deep parts of your skin. It ripped it apart.
So you weren't bleeding
underneath.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't bleeding under. I wasn't bleeding outside.
I see.
But the whole area was dead skin. Like,
he's a karate man. He doesn't bleed on the outside. He bruised on the inside.
So, and so I go to work the next. This is a Saturday. And I go to the hospital, Dan, and they're like, "Listen, just ice pack it."
What does it look like?
They'd never seen anything like that before, Bubba. They know what to do. They're like, I guess just put some ice on it. You'll be all right.
You said Krylon. I don't really know what that is.
That's just a form of spray paint.
Oh.
It's just a red, Krylon's really cheap spray paint. So it literally, Anna, looked like where the two straps were in the middle of my legs looked like carved tunnels. Like just, like really big indentations.
So the texture was different. Like there was an indentation.
Oh, yeah, a big indentation.
Interesting.
And then everything from that part moving towards my crotch was just completely red. And the emergency room had never seen anything like that. They're like, and so I went to when I was at the emergency room, the doctor came in, the resident doctor, Dan, like what that's what you, usually it's a younger guy, who's working his way through, medical school. And Dan, is that like the last part? That's right before you're getting ready to be a doctor when they got you working the ER unit, right?
Yeah, you've finished medical school and you're doing your residency training, which is, between 3 and 7 years.
Right. So, you got to go and be one of these operating emergency room doctors. You got to be a doctor at a hospital or a medical center for as low as 3 and as high as 5 years. And so this guy comes in and he's like, I've never seen internal hemorrhage or damage to the inner derma. I've never seen like this would be he said the only thing I could equate it to would be like if a semi truck ran over that part of your body, didn't break your femur, but completely damaged all the skin around your leg.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I can equate it to. So I'm like, okay. So I went for years and eventually it just quit hurting. And I just had this dead skin there. And right before my wedding in 2000, and I think I did it in December of 06, Dan, during my break.
So there was no immediate threat to your health, just leaving it as it was?
No, it just was flippy flop skin. Dead,
just super like loose?
Dead skin like dead skin, like crepey.
Okay.
Just
but
not healthy, not tight. And nothing, like there was no amount of weight or no amount of leg exercises I could do
to fill it.
Yeah, there's no way. You know, like if you got some lunch lady arms or something like that, and you lose weight and you really dedicate into doing triceps and biceps and shoulders,
tighten it up.
You may not tighten it all up, but you could probably get an 80% difference.
You can make it better.
A lot different. And then you could always go in for a little touch up with Dan if you wanted to, but it would be after. There's nothing I could work out. I could have worked out inner legs and lost 100 pounds, and I'd still have this dead, crepey, flippy, floppy, Shar-Pei looking inner thighs. And so Dan did the best he could, and it's still not perfect, but it's far better.
Took out inches of skin.
Yeah. What did you do with that? I give you permission to talk about it.
Throw it away.
No. Like,
it's disgusting.
No, what I'm saying is, like, did you cut it? Did you cut the dead portion as much as a dead portion out, and then connect the two living parts together? Like, what did you do?
You just take a strip of skin out and close it.
What do you do with the strip, though?
Throw it away.
Like, is there like a biohazard?
Yeah,
like
they just throw it away. Probably they burn it.
Should have made a bracelet out of it.
Bin?
Bracelet.
Made a Bubba bracelet out of it.
You can make exactly. It's like it puts the skin bracelet on.
Yeah.
Ew.
I could sell that, man.
Make a belt out of it.
If I can sell, my paintings for $500, what can I sell a Bubba?
Belt.
10 grand.
A Bubba.
50 grand.
A Bubba, skin bracelet. Please.
Woven
bracelet.
Beautiful.
Clem leather.
Don't hurt my snow. It puts the lotion on its skin.
By the way, we were looking for some statistics about people who go to jail and whether their marriage makes it or not. I did find this. Each year of incarceration increases the odds that the inmate's marriage will end in divorce before or after the inmate gets out of prison by an average of 32%. So it's saying
that's massive.
Yeah, and you see it right there. Like, I'm not just making that up.
Wow.
And then Florida State University did a huge thing on criminals and divorce and what prison does to your divorce, and it's actually it skews men divorce women more than women divorce men.
Oh, of course.
In that scenario.
Because I think sex is way more important to men.
Yeah, men are like, man, I got to get me some ass.
Yeah.
Right? And women are like, I'll hold out.
Right.
I'll hold out for homie. Now, Jay, are you going to be part of, we didn't ask you, but you're certainly invited. On Friday, December 22nd, we're doing the Bubba roast, and your brother is the roast master. I didn't know if you'd like to participate or not.
I absolutely would like to attend, and I think, yes, I'd like to participate, but I don't know if I think, yes. I just don't want to say something that would, I'm having
like
trouble with
answer.
the whole, like.
Here's the deal.
I don't want to say something that's going to hurt someone's feelings. I don't think I'd be a good roaster. I'm not sure.
I think you'd be a great roaster. I think you'd be a great roaster. We've been through a lot together, and I don't think that there's anything that you cannot say. And the only thing that probably you shouldn't maybe allude to, I'll tell you. There's only one thing.
I don't even go there. I never do.
No, this one you could potentially go with just as a little snarky jab. But I could tell you the subject matter that I'd probably want you to stay away from. And other than that, man, let it rip. Like I told my sister, she's like, what's the rules? And I go, I mean, you can even tell people I used to pee on your back when I was 8.
Yeah, but everyone knows that already.
I know.
But that's what makes the jokes funny.
Yeah. Boy, Dan, I got to tell you this. As I'm doing research on everybody, because, as I'm getting roasted, I got to sit there and take it. But the way I know, or at least the format that I've always seen roasts go, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that is after everybody's done roasting, then the roastee gets up there and goes through each and everybody, thanks them for coming out, and then gets a little jab on them if they can, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Woo, Danny.
And sometimes they're nice.
Which ones are you watching for, like, your inspiration? Are there a couple that you've been watching on Comedy Central? Because there's some amazing ones.
No, I don't. I've not watched any roast. I've not watched.
Watch the Justin Bieber one.
All
oh,
right.
my Lord.
But
it's the funniest thing you may have seen.
I got some stuff on Danny.
Yeah.
It's not ruining
Well, you've got the
life
format.
here.
You've got the format perfect.
Well, Bubba's been part of a roast too.
Yeah, I've roasted before.
First
of all, let me just tell
roaster?
you, I would. Yeah, I've been Yeah,
Okay.
and Howard had roasts for what? Rodney the limo driver, and I think I did a couple of them.
Yep.
But I've never been roasted before. But I will tell you this, Dan, as scared as you may or may not be, if I have a question about whether it could be problematic or not, I'm gonna ask Jay.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna ask Jay before I put it in. I'm not putting something in that could be a real zinger on you that could cause you some problems.
Okay.
Oh, did you get your protein shakes?
Yeah.
Or am I that far behind on the
that
feed?
far behind.
Yeah. So, Danny, I know you're probably a little nervous.
I'm okay.
There's some stuff, man.
Yeah, there's stuff.
It just depends how deep he goes.
I went deep.
How deep?
I went so deep. That puts that ass to sleep.
Is it? You're like you're striking oil.
Oh, I went so deep that you're going to be like, how in the hell do you know that? Who you been talking to?
Is it
Steve?
Whisper between your teeth deep that I've seen you do it to someone before in public and they stop talking immediately?
Yeah, but it's...
You remember that?
But it's probably walk out with you and Dan on the next break when Dan goes out.
And ask him.
And yeah, that might be how deep it might. I might have to get a ruling on Dan. And Dan's going to immediately say no. And then, Jay, you're going to have to give me the actual answer. Because, Dan's just going to be a pussy and say no matter what because he doesn't want any heat. But if it's survivable heat, then you can tell me, Jay, if it's survivable heat or not.
Dan takes a ribbon better than anybody else. If it brings anybody else into it that he can't control, the answer will probably be no from him. But if it's just him, purely him, he really doesn't care. He's pretty selfless.
I think, Jay, that's a pretty good summary.
Well, we'll see when I walk you out. We'll see. But I mean, now if this point, Jay, maybe I shouldn't tell Dan, and I should just run it by you.
That's fine. I think that's probably better.
Then Dan will know that it's coming.
Right.
Or that it's not coming. You know what I'm saying?
Dan, you trust my judgment?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
We're good, Bubba.
Okay.
We'll get an official ruling after he leaves on the air.
Perfect. Which I think you need to go pretty soon, don't you? You got surgery today?
Yeah, it's another surgery day.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll make that transition, and then we'll get into the Jets, Joe Namath thing here next. And as Dan goes to do more surgery today. Dr. Dan, thank you.
Thank you.
And we're not doing the show Friday, so you don't have to ruin your family's vacation and come over here on Friday and do a show. Because you'd leave Orlando. You'd leave Orlando.
He would.
Come do a show and then join the family in progress by like noon.
Yep. And if you want me to, I still can.
No, it's all right.
Find a safe place and stay there. The four horsemen of the apocalypse asked him for advice.
Oh, God.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
One for Lummy. Oh, okay. Man, that's a lot of liquid in the morning.
It's only 12 calories.
12 calories, 100 grams of protein.
So crazy.
Plant-based. The biggest drop possible. Still didn't give you the core of the week.
That's what he's preparing.
I know. Really good. Look at that little smirk. You're like a cat with a fucking feather coming out of the mouth.
It is so good. It was so good.
Oh, well, you guys have a great day. See you then. Are you coming out now?
Thanksgiving. Trump.
He's got the right idea. Go ahead, I got you.
No, well, he thinks I'm going to be nosy.
Oh, if you walk out when he leaves, is that what they do?
No,
They're
he's
like,
like this, so keep it walking.
That's so funny. I'm sure you've seen the Justin Bieber one, yes?
Yeah, I've seen most of them.
I've seen a lot of
I've
them
seen
too.
the Trump one was pretty good
Yeah,
too.
Trump one was good. I just felt like, Martha Stewart killed it. She was killed
funny.
it.
She's funny.
I
She's a
mean,
good sport too.
there were a couple of them were just so funny. It was unreal.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Shaq did a pretty good job. I was surprised.
Yeah, I doubt any of them write their own shit. All right.
You know what? You're right. I bet you Comedy Central writes it for him, huh?
Oh yeah. Can I just go back?
What's up, everybody? What up, Grouper Lips? Yeah, let me refresh. Let's see. YouTube. Fresh. There we go. Interesting. Hey, no, no.
Great, Jay. How are you doing?
Good. What's up, Big Buck? Did you, oh, that's a pretty good observation, Mike. Watch that game last night, or did you go to bed early? It was pretty epic.
What's the majority of it? Except for the last.
I'm not a big, I just don't really care about football that much, but last night was, I just like watching Mahomes lose.
Yeah, I mean, it was a
great game the whole way through, basically. In the rain.
Jay, come here for a second.
What up, Sister Girl Tees?
Were you hoping for a little Taylor Swift?
So I
Choked on this thing. Now it's me. Jay Bullard. Yeah, Bubba was getting attacked the other day. Yesterday. He said they've been getting attacked the last couple of days.
All right.
I have a feeling I know what your topic is.
But those two are funny, right, Jay?
They're hilarious.
But unfortunately,
they're
only.
definitely digging deep oil deep.
But the thing about it is, you know what? Only about 8 people know what we're talking about.
Except everyone at that roast will, because they know more about the show than we do. I played Jay's in Costa Rica while I was in Costa Rica with one of my partners, Paul, the firefighter that I've known since I was a kid. And man, he laughed out loud because he knew all the stuff, because he's a part of the cuts and the sleepy and the TT night and the restless legs, and he's like, holy shit, they know everything.
They do.
Everything. It goes deep. So my point is, that joke will be well received.
Hey, Lummy.
Yes, Bubba.
Will you send me the Bill Burr's wife flipping off Trump?
Oh, that was
pick.
Yep.
Just the pick.
All right.
Meanwhile, the pop he got when he walked into that was unbelievable.
Yeah, him and Tucker.
Yeah. And Kid Rock.
And the owner.
Yeah, and Dana White. It was unreal.
Are you doing
What up, Dr. Dan's blooming on you, man?
No, I don't think so. Actually, I got it, Lummy.
Yeah, okay.
If Brian's here, he'll be the baby face will be good for all of us.
Oh yeah. No, he'd be really good for that. He has good quips.
Yep.
That-
What up, Steve?
Oh damn, I was gonna
Good.
get No, it's okay. No. I have one.
What a big longer.
yourselves. Just like a 6-pack of cheap Yiddish beer.
Surprise me. You look like a typical low-life character to me.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Everything starts and stops in our world now with BubbaArmyHQ.com. Past shows, archives, podcasting, everywhere visually you can see us. We've finally got up to speed, and we are living in today's world and not 2011. And pretty much if you wanted to know a little bit about Jay Diaco, boom, he's on here. Look at this, Jay Diaco. Bam, there you go, my man. Look at him. Little synopsis, favorite things, pet peeves, various pictures, him hanging 10, some video of him hanging 10. All, as you can see, what he likes to do the most is hang 10. That's his favorite thing to do. If you, let's say, Jay, that you won like a big tobacco case. Like, I'm talking FU type money.
Yeah.
Okay? And you're done. You're done. You're like, listen.
Lottery money.
You're like, I'm done. I'm going to hand the firm on down to Bella and to Pitt, whoever wants it.
Yeah, whoever has the last name Diaco that wants it gets it.
Whoever wants it. I don't care. I could care less. I'm done. Would you go and like maybe open up like a little surf shop and just be a surfer all day?
Nope. I would have a giant boat that like we've all talked about before that you were welcome on always. And I have a friend that was a captain Captain Biddles would take care of my boat. Terry would take care of my cars. And the boat would be at a surf break at all times, and we would be flying to that place wherever the waves were. That's what I would do.
So you'd just be
day.
chasing waves.
And I need
like
both
I could get
sides.
a phone call and be like, "Hey, Bubba, I need you to be at the airport.
Yeah, meet me at the executive airport.
Meet me at the executive airport Thursday at 3 p.m. We're flying to Bora Bora because they got 15-footers going on right now."
Absolutely. And if you want to take the boat to Bora Bora and have some fun, and me, you go have fun. I'm going to go surf. We'll see you in the evening.
Yeah. So Jay likes to hang 10. His whole life would just be pretty much based around the water. You love the water.
Yep. It's kept me happy, healthy, and somewhat sane.
Here's Bill Burr. Now, during this past UFC weekend, Trump is now, and I got to tell you, man, it's really good PR on his end. Poor guy is going through hell. He's got, I think, 935,000 indictments. It looks like he's probably going to be the candidate. I don't know if he's the candidate and he wins and he has to pardon himself. I don't know how any of that goes. I don't know.
But you know how important loyalty is to him. This is what Dana White does out of loyalty to him, is he lets him come in and do this grand entrance, and it was incredible. Even Joe Rogan, who hates to admit it, said that the pop he got this time versus the pop in the past was like exponentially louder and bigger.
And so and it's smart to be around that audience.
Yep.
Men that like fighting. And a smattering of women.
What's that demographic? Is it 18 to 35 men?
No. Usually it's 18 to 49 or 18 to 54.
Yep.
If it's a little bit more broader, which I would think that UFC is probably 18 to 54, 65, 35 men to women. Would be Anna. What would you think? You're a little bit more in tune with that. Would you say that would be your typical audience at a UFC fight, maybe?
Yep. Yeah.
18 to 54 men, 65 to 35. And most of the women are just the dates of men that want to be there,
right?
for the most part.
Yes.
So Trump, this is a huge, huge demographic. Black, white, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. Kid Rock, it doesn't matter. And he now he's making sure that he's at all these really high profile UFC fights. And I mean, it's great marketing. And in this particular instance, he had Kid Rock sit with him.
Yeah.
And Tucker Carlson.
What's interesting though is like
awesome.
The political breakdown of people who play those sports and do those sports, because listen, I don't really talk politics at jiu-jitsu, but if you start to talk to people, I would say very few of them are like liberals or left wing, because they are like, pick yourself up,
personal responsibility,
yeah, by the what is it, bootstraps, whatever.
Pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
Right.
Yeah. Hardworking, delayed gratification.
Self-reliant.
They don't feel entitled to anything. They want to work hard. They want to earn their way. They want to earn their belts. It's a certain mindset. And when you start talking to these people, you realize like most of them are either right wing or like libertarian. So Trump going to those events is like money because it's all those
that's why they
types
call
of
them
people.
disciplines, because those are disciplines. Jiu-jitsu is a very difficult thing to master. It takes a lot of discipline and dedication and self-reliance and it's perseverance, and you have to overcome doubt. I mean, there's so much that's involved in becoming a black belt.
And nobody's helping you. The government's not helping you.
It's all you.
No.
It's not. There's not a shortcut. There's not a handout.
You don't want to be given a belt. You want to earn a belt.
Exactly.
Stripes. Yeah.
The whole sport is built upon honor and achievement on your own level. Like it's the most
personal achievement.
And not just that, not just jiu-jitsu,
but there is no team in this sport.
Nope.
Now they sometimes will have like little competitions where they put a little team together, like with the Ultimate Fighter and things like that.
But each match is just
each
one-on-one.
dojo or whatever, like the Rob Kahn guys. Those guys all. I mean, I'm just saying that in the generic sense. The people who are part of like the Rob Kahn Gracie Jiu-Jitsu camps. I mean, they feel it's a sense of bond and team.
But
for sure, right?
But
but it's not like soccer.
But
where
the
it's like a team sport.
the sport is completely an individual sport. The only team you belong to is your training team or your gym or your gym team.
Yeah.
Or guys that your trainer might be training with you. Maybe there's 3 or 4 other dudes that he trains. But anyway, it is an absolute. I control my own destiny. I don't get a handout. I don't got help from anybody. I am on my own, and that is so not not blue.
It's antithetical to like modern day liberalism, for sure.
And so, I think this is actually kind of funny. I am a fan of Bill Burr. Bill Burr is married to an African American woman who's very attractive, and very rarely does she steal the limelight of Bill. She's
on his podcast sometimes.
Yeah, but it's
pretty funny.
She takes very much a step back to Bill. She lets Bill do his thing.
Sure.
And she very rarely injects into what Bill's doing, less his podcast. So Bill happens to be at this UFC fight this past weekend. Trump's there. Kid Rock's there. Well, Trump walks by Bill Burr and his wife flips Donald Trump off.
Double birds.
And a bunch of people caught. Here we go. So here's Donald. They're introducing
find that
him.
fun. It's disrespectful but funny. It's funny.
But hold on. It's fundamentally what you have not made a living, but what you have become very famous for, and that is
First Amendment,
protecting the First Amendment.
I would never do that to Trump. I would never do that to Biden. But I think, in her doing it, it's kind of funny.
And she has the right to do it.
Sure she does.
So she does that. A lot of people are taken back by it. Some people like it. Some people say it's disrespectful to the president, that Bill Burr should have better control of his bitch.
Well, come on.
And so here's what...
Tell that to Candle.
Here's what Bill Burr said. And I love Bill Burr. I really am. I really admire.
I am too.
I admire
I haven't heard
him.
this clip either, and I think he's one of the funniest.
Oh, he's great. I love Bill.
How's your wife's hands doing these days?
Oh, they're fantastic. I love my wife. You know where you stand with her. Okay, the guy walked in the arena. Everybody cheered. She gave him the finger. Nobody got arrested. That's why this country's great.
I mean, he makes an interesting point, and a good one at that. Right here. This sums it all up.
Nobody got arrested. That's why this country's great.
Yeah. For real. I mean, in some countries, you do that to Kim Jong. You do that in North Korea, and you won't see the next match. I promise you.
Well, they're doing it to Trump. He just questioned the election.
Everybody expressed themselves. Can we all be adults? I mean, I don't know about you, but I came there to go to the fights. I didn't know I was going to the Republican National Convention.
Again, a point well taken, and very, very, very funny.
That was perfect.
So I love that. Did you see where I think I saw an interview? Maybe you can find it. Kid Rock went on to explain that him and Donald Trump at the UFC event saw the CEO from Budweiser and I guess went and had a conversation with him.
Yep.
And I think Budweiser might have cut a deal. Well, first of all, they just cut one of the biggest deals ever with UFC. They're going to be the official beer of UFC.
That's right.
And I think they cut a deal with Kid Rock because remember, Kid Rock was one of the very first guys that came out and he said "F you, Bud Light," and he went and took a machine gun and blasted a whole bunch of cans of Bud Light.
Yeah.
Well, then all of a sudden now he's kind of done a 180, and he's like, "Hey man, Bud Light ain't so bad, you know. Don't think Bud Light." Didn't get together and say, "Listen, get a hold of Kid Rock." See if 5 or 6 million would change his opinion of our beer.
I think Dana White's the peacemaker there.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who determined that I'm not going to let
I think Kid Rock cut his deal before Dana cut his deal.
Well, I heard him parsing words very lawyerly. He said, "I never said cancel Bud Light. I just shot the cans."
Yeah,
I never said cancel it.
He just said "F you."
Right,
Bud
exactly.
Light. And so he's done an about face.
Yeah, for sure.
It's with Sean Hannity.
Okay. Yeah, this was just a few nights
Kid
ago.
Rock, he's known for his music, his outspoken political views, his outspoken views on everything. He's absolutely fearless when it comes to woke cancel culture. He calls himself uncancelable. Kid Rock recently announced that he's going to be partnering with country music superstar Jason Aldean for their Rock the Country tour, headlining.
And they're doing small cities.
Seven small town festivals.
One of which is Ocala.
Yes, it is.
Leonard Skinner.
I wonder if that name is on purpose. And of course, in the spring and summer of 2024, in a release, Kid Rock said, "The tour is for everyone who makes this country run and loves America. Nobody knows how to party like a small town America."
Man, I got to tell you, what a hell of a card. Kid Rock, Jason Aldean, Miranda Lambert, Hank Williams Jr., Leonard Skinnard, Brantley, just people that
Travis Tritt.
People that I recognize. Travis Tritt, Brantley Gilbert,
Uncle Cracker.
Hold on, Nelly.
Yes.
Nelly. Big and Rich, and then it gets to some people I don't quite know. But Colt Ford, Lummy Colt Ford, we know Colt.
Yes, we do.
And there you go, and there you go. I mean, that's a pretty big. That's a pretty big.
Good lineup.
RockTheCountry.com for ticket details, and including they're coming to Ocala, Florida, June next year, June 7 and 8.
Tickets aren't that bad right now either.
American. Kid Rock is also hosting the Rock and Roll Rodeo.
I'll call Kid Rock and see if I can, I'll call him.
There you go.
In Texas this coming May. He joins us with more. How you doing? Great to see you. I hurt your wrist. I didn't realize that was a wrist thing, man. First, let me get to this issue. You are uncancelable. You don't give a flying rip. And
we say it a little different than rip, but that is correct.
Well, I mean, I can say it. I mean, I just say it differently. I call it Adam Schiff. I call, you don't give a shit.
I'm just not in bed with any corporate entities.
I don't know, man. You might be now with Bud Light.
Where that would put me in a position where people could raise a stink. And I decided years ago, I've been very blessed. I've worked hard and still be able to do this at a high level in 25 years. And I decided when I was going to get, vocal about all things, like it's not a time I have never been vocal. I came out with middle fingers on my first CD, with my mouth just going like this. And I really haven't changed. The times have.
Right.
But I decided when I was really going to get vocal.
You know what? He's right. He hasn't changed. And people that shock and titillate and, are polarizing, we have not changed. The people around us and the society around us and advertising around us and advertising agencies and clients and 7 or 8 trolls, keyboard tough guys, those are the people that have changed, not us.
Purely for my love of this country and use my voice to, speak on things that mean a lot to me, that there wasn't going to be any corporate deals. And I'm fine with that because, I've always tried to live that there's no dollar amount on this God's green earth that would get me to, not be able to be who I am.
But I think people love you more because of it.
I hope so.
So let me does he not have any, I don't think he's beholden to anybody.
No.
He's got his own bar and he does concerts there and he does concerts whenever he wants. Like this isn't, a Ticketmaster concert. This is one that he's producing with his buddies.
Right.
And Jason Aldean, has been the subject of cancel culture for not in my hometown and that whole thing, or not in a small town.
About stuff that will fly in Philly, but not here in a small town.
Right. Exactly. And so, what he's doing is basically, and that maybe he's not taking a contract, but I think even if he took it, he's taking a contract that he could say, screw you too, and it's not going to change his life. I'm sure he has deals with companies and makes money because he makes money. But I think he's probably doesn't have one deal that he's beholden to, so he can tell people, go screw yourself. I'm going to do what I want.
And if whoever he's doing business with cancels, so be it.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Money for it.
I'm a huge fan of Dana White. I saw you with President Trump and Dana and Tucker, and you guys all went to the MMA, what was it, the Garden?
UFC, yeah.
UFC.
Garden.
All right, so he was on this show.
I saw.
And it was about Bud Light.
Here we go.
he took on as a sponsor. Now, I'll tell you why I've never my whole life.
Now, did he say that Donald Trump took on as a sponsor?
No. Dana White was on.
Oh, okay. Dana White. Okay, I got it.
Explaining why he would use Bud Light as a sponsor.
I understand.
Boycott. I've never called for a firing or a cancellation ever. I mean, even people that I can't stand, like Bill.
By the way, I didn't either.
Yeah, okay. So what I worried about...
Was he getting ready to say Bill O'Reilly?
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, okay. As I say.
In that case, was the guys that have the beer
working
routes,
class people.
Right. The guys that work in the factory, the guys that load the trucks, they're not the guys that made that stupid,
Oh, they had no dog in this fight at all. It's actually funny. Speaking of that UFC fight, I'm standing there with our favorite president.
Right.
And someone comes over to, like, the CEO of Anheuser-Busch standing right behind you.
Right.
So I go to the POTUS. I'm like, hey, that's the CEO of Anheuser-Busch. Trump's like, you want to go talk to him? I'm like, so me and him go over. We actually had a great conversation.
Really?
Because, if you put this in context, why did this start? It's like, I told him that night, I go, you signaled to a lot of people like myself, like-minded people. Put the trans thing aside for a minute, right? I was like, but by sending that can to the trans kid, you kind of signaled to us you support this lifestyle, and more importantly, like men being in women's sports or in my granddaughter's locker room. Most of us draw a hard line right there. No. What are you doing?
You have a granddaughter. You're like 40,
two grandkids.
You're like 42 years old. Well, go ahead.
It gets cold in Detroit, Sean.
I guess it does.
So I said,
you got to have sex in the winter, regardless.
Signaled that to us. I said, but speaking of, I was like, if someone wants to be trans, I was like, I didn't rip that kid. I said, F you guys. I said, I didn't even say boycott or cancel. I said, F you. I said, what are you doing? Injecting yourself into this conversation, these polarizing social issues. I was like, you could be doing so much more positive stuff, just making us laugh and drink beer. But I said.
Which is true.
Yep.
If someone wants to dress up like a girl, they want to be transgender or whatever, a lot of people fought and died for them to do that. Go for it.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
For it. We can coexist. In public places, you might not be my first dinner invite. You know what I mean? And I'm probably not yours. And if you're gay, no one cares anymore, right? We all got gay family members, gay friends, gay co-workers. It's like, cut it out. Just be gay. I'm not going to clap louder for you.
You know what I hear you saying? You believe in freedom.
Yeah.
But if you want to indoctrinate kids in school,
that's what I tell my. Let me say this to the trans and gay community right now. Be yourself. That's cool. You're cool with me. I'm cool with you. That's how most people are. But as soon as you bring our kids into this, that's where you're going to bring hatred into it. Leave our freaking kids out of it. That's the bottom line.
How about parents instill the values in their own kids?
Yeah.
That's it.
Pretty simple. I mean,
all right. I want to get back into the Bud thing a little bit. I want one specific question. It's great to see you. Thanks for coming. More Kid Rock as we continue. We're in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. By the way, they have no state income tax here. I am an idiot for not living here. Hey, Sean Hannity.
Anyway, Kid Rock.
20 years ago, if you told me that Kid Rock would have had any staying power, I would have said absolutely not. I just didn't think his music was that interesting. But he has reinvented himself from a rapper to kind of a country southern rock rapper. He's hybrid kind of. And he's really done an incredible job of reinventing himself. And now he has this loyal following that's 20 years large. It's incredible, really.
Oh, yeah. And he's so cool.
It's kind of like,
I've hung out with him 4 or 5
uncancelable.
times, and yeah, well, because it seems like the more cult-like that you've become, the more uncancelable. We're right there on the verge of maybe being uncancelable.
Yeah, that's true.
Not. Lummy, when we return, we're going to get into this Joe Namath stuff, and enough's enough. Like, listen, maybe I'll change my mind as I get into this, maybe the inner workings of this particular story. Maybe I'll change my mind, but if you were raped by a man 51 years ago, and I think the guy's dead too, is he not?
Yeah, he died in 98.
And he's dead?
Yes.
And now you're trying to come back on Joe Namath because Joe Namath put his name on this little boy's football camp, and you're going to try to blame Joe and like maybe treat Joe Namath like he's a Joe Paterno type deal and a Jerry Sandusky kind of deal. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm glad I have Jay here. Maybe he can give us the legal perspective. But coming back, coming back after 51 years and then blaming, you'd have to have some direct evidence that would show that Joe knew. If you had that, maybe I can start sniffing around.
There's a statute of limitations for a reason.
Not on stuff like this.
And they've expanded that. They've changed these laws. Back in 51 years ago, back in 1972, there was a statute of limitations for these types of allegations of probably 2 to 4 years. And all of a sudden they continue now. They changed the laws in certain states that allow them to go backwards and look for people like Bill Cosby, Epstein, Trump, whoever they can try to find that they want to accuse of this. And
here's the deal. There's probably a percentage of people that really, really need the justice because these sick bastards did do what they say they did. But there has to be, just by the pure nature of statistics, some of this is made up.
Well, and also
some of this is just trumping a guy, just ringing a guy up.
There's a right to confront your accuser in the United States justice system. And so when someone's dead or someone anonymously makes an accusation, it doesn't give the person the right to confront their accuser. And so that's the big problem with these types of old cases. For example, the one where Trump was, found liable from that one woman. She didn't remember the year, the date, the time. That she alleged a place.
Out of all the Trump stuff, he has some problems on some of them, but that's the one that I will agree with you on that. That's the one where that's a big he said, she said. There's no other witnesses. Like that's a big nothing burger, and they made it. There wasn't even any resolve. Didn't he settle it?
There was a finding of liability.
Yeah.
They found that he was liable. He's putting it on appeal because they allowed they allowed prior alleged unproven acts in women that alleged he did similar things like they did to Bill Cosby, which is improper. It's called improper character evidence. And so they allowed all these other women who did not at the time contemporaneously complain, did not get convictions. They were just accusations. They allowed all of it in. And so they're appealing it on that basis that they allowed all of her evidence in and they didn't allow any of his evidence in because he had evidence, various things, like in our case. You remember how many things we tried to get in that they said no?
Yeah, most.
Okay. That's what he faced. Everything they wanted in, they got in.
They got MJ and Phil Campbell, they got about 55 things in, and Jay got about 3 things in.
And that's all we needed.
He's hit the rattler. What comes next? We can only guess. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
You probably did get messed up.
Well, I'm not even discussing this necessarily as much as it is just the whole.
Well, no, I was just saying like the coach, because the coach,
there was some creepy shit going on back then for sure.
That doesn't mean no, you know it.
Right. I think what Bubba said, unless there's direct evidence that he knew it, come on, it should be unfair character assault. Did you see the new video they released on January 6th last night? Isn't that crazy that the guy shot tear gas by himself, misfired right in the middle of the crowd, and that's when the cops leave and everyone just follows him in?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, right? Did you see that, Anna? I didn't see it on the news thing. I guess someone FOIA requested some records and got some more January 6th stuff, and so they're showing like the moment that the people breach, and so it's like the the line is being held pretty well, no problems. And they show a cop in the back loading up tear gas, and they're like, fire that fucker right over that fucking thing. And so the cop misfires it right into where the cops are. And so the next thing you see,
it's like a Hamas.
all the cops going, and they all leave, and then that's when the people come in, right? It's insane. I'll show you the link. It's mind blowing.
The Speaker of the House released all the tapes.
It was mind boggling. I mean, it's like the kind of shit where you go, holy.
The Speaker released it.
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Uncle Cracker. 49. Mount Clemens. Oh, there's another.
You know, I've seen that guy that you sent me the video of the son of the Hamas.
Yeah.
I've seen him a lot now.
Yeah,
He's been out there. Yeah, he's been out there a lot more.
He's out there. He's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Super giant balls to do that.
Yeah, I'm like, became a Christian and everything.
I saw a news piece yesterday which talks about there's more young women converting to Islam right now than there has been in the longest time. And
there's a lot of young men too.
yeah, that they don't necessarily know how women are treated. You know, they really no idea. It's like the transgender people like protesting for them. It's like, yeah, guys.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it might be they're doing it in Western countries. So
Oh, for sure they are. For sure they are. They're not doing it.
Well,
Going over to
obviously,
fucking
right,
Gaza.
but they're not like moving to Saudi Arabia.
No.
That would be silly.
Roof shingles don't last as long
I
as
saw
they
that
should.
Snizuki Slayer. The whole thing is pretty wild.
Affordable alternative to replacement. Roof renew is a revolutionary technology that extends the life of
I thought it was weird what the medical examiner said.
They can save as much as 80% of the cost of a roof replacement. Roof renew is safe for people.
Bubba, Red Got Donuts, do you want one?
What?
Red Got Donuts, do you want one?
Bring him in here.
Bring him in, bring him in.
Fast as you possibly can.
Immediately.
What kind of donuts? What kind of donuts?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Really? I'll actually eat that.
As opposed to what other kind of donuts will you
Well,
not
like when
eat?
you like a pound, like a row of Oreos, you know, like people do it within a second. I could probably take down 4 to
But will
6.
you eat them?
Hot donuts?
Oh, I mean, they're probably not hot, but will you
But
eat
yeah,
them?
oh yeah.
They're right there.
I think I'm.
Will you rinse it off?
Yep.
Unless they're
Right here.
sweaty.
That's easy for me right
Yeah,
there.
like-
That's all I want?
No. Yeah, but
That's
no.
gross to me.
Yeah.
I won't use it.
It's like glazed or
Chocolate shreddy balls. Did you ever see that thing?
Hey, you want a donut?
Yeah, let me see it. If you don't mind, I got it for
Here, maybe you want to move that to a place more stable.
Oh,
When it comes to Florida weather, demand a roofing company that is
There's
earned
a
A+
paper
rating
towels there.
from the Better Business Bureau. Handyman Roofing is 3 generations, family owned and operated. Handyman can take care of any leak.
Do you drink coffee or no?
Yes. I do. You?
Oh yeah. I mean every day. That's what this is.
Oh yeah. I have 2 cups before I come here.
Black or?
2 cream, 2 stevia or stevia, whatever it's called. Okay, that's good.
Oh, I'm drinking Monster well water. You know it. I need to. Morning, Jake Lostica.
In a country somewhere in the third world, the CIA is using this broadcast as torture to extract information about terrorists.
On your shoulders and legs with Craig the Bulldog, your cardio, abs, calves.
He thinks Evan is doing his patriotic duty.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure, too.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I gotta tell you, I gotta find out, Lummy, what that guy's company is that sent us all the monster deep well water.
Oh yeah.
Anna was actually and Anna hates everything.
Pretty much, but
everything sucks.
Love this.
And she's like yesterday, oh my God, I never thought I'd like canned water. Just the pure thought of canned water sucks. But
it's caffeinated water?
No, it's just
water.
It's just water.
It's deep well water.
And Monster's doing that now, and we're like, there's this guy that listens to the show that I think has a beverage distribution place, and he's like, hey, let me send you guys over some of this Monster deep well water. I'm like, all right.
The water business is a lucrative business. I'll tell you that.
Who would have ever thought, huh?
Zephyr Hills gets their water for free, essentially. From
They do?
Zephyr Hills.
Yep. They get it for free.
Free?
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Well, and it's, pure spring water.
Yeah.
They don't have to do anything to it, no processing, no nothing. They can just take it straight out of the water from the people of Zephyr Hills. Good deal you made.
Sumo just texted me and goes, I can't see what you're eating, but ASMR, you are tearing the hell out of that plate.
Donuts.
Well, no, I have a donut now, but Merch Crick brought me some green beans, some baked beans, and a pork tenderloin for my lunch.
Oh, nice.
I don't want to be around you in 4 hours.
And I already had diarrhea going into the deal.
I know. This isn't going to help that tummy
And so
issue
Sumo's
today.
like, I can't see. God damn, I can't hear. I can't see what you're eating, but you're tearing the hell out of that plate. ASMR. I was too. I mean, you know how you're getting down to the last couple of beans and green beans. You got to, and then you always have to use your finger as a pusher. You always
No doubt.
got to.
That's how it goes.
Exactly. All right. So digging into this Joe Namath deal. Yeah. There's a guy. I don't like how this starts. Like it's written as if Jets legend Joe Namath accused of allowing child sex abuse at football camp. I don't know. That's a little a little forward, or a little bit like
that Joe
he's
knew
guilty
about it and allowed it to keep happening and happening.
Then it opens up Jets legend Joe Namath Now, see, this is bullshit. This is what the guy is alleging, but they write it as if it's factual.
Mm-hmm.
Jets legend Joe Namath covered up sexual abuse at his facility, according to court documents filed by a man who says he was assaulted there 51 years ago. That's bull crap.
Yep.
Because the average person just reads the first line. Jets legend Joe Namath covered up sexual abuse at his facility. Nobody reads court records or reporting. And let's not forget, isn't a person innocent till proven guilty?
Yeah, this is what they do to you.
Unless you're me.
They find a pleading, and then they quote the pleading as though it's true. This is the complaint with the allegations. None of this has been proven. There's a lawsuit. So it's what it is, civil action. When you peel it back, I'm reading it right now. It's a civil case. that this kid's family's bringing against the camp and saying that he
He's
knew.
not a kid. He's 64.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
If you see
I
the
know,
picture, because they have a picture of him at camp with Joe Namath saying that he was helping to groom it. It's
Whoa! He didn't help groom it. He said that the coach.
I'll get into it.
Yeah.
He says it right here.
Philip Lyle Smith, 64, from Florida, by the way, and he's a real estate broker, recently told the Post about his horrific ordeal at a Joe Namath instructional football camp. Speaking publicly for the first time about these claims, he detailed as John Doe in the ongoing Brooklyn lawsuit. So he's this John Doe character.
Yeah, he's now revealed his identity.
Right. Smith says the alleged sexual predator was a well-known Brooklyn poly-prep country club football coach named Philip Fogliata, who later revealed to be a sexual pedophile.
And he's ugly as F.
Yeah, 2012.
They usually are.
Yeah, 2012.
He looks like Chris
it came
Christie.
out that he molested other kids at the school.
It did. So that came out
in 2012. Yeah.
So that's the only information this guy has.
And the guy died in 1998, Fogliata. And also, what kind of donut are you eating?
A chocolate one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fogliata, who died in 98, was allegedly allowed to repeatedly sexually attack Smith at the camp, starting when the boy was 12, said the married Florida real estate broker in court documents, claiming that to the Post that Namath and other lawsuit defendants were enablers and pedophile protectors. Okay, all right. Then if you're going to say that, bad, real bad.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Because this is what I was talking about with the grooming, Lummy. It says every night he'd say, see what I did? You have pictures and so with Joe. Joe talked to you. How can you do that without me? Smith said this was part of his grooming to abuse me. Well, what part of that did Joe know about?
That's what I said. Joe didn't groom. This guy
the
was
allegation in the lawsuit was that he somehow was grooming him by not doing what? He never said he knew anything.
Now, if he would show,
if he knew, he should fry. But that would, I mean, come on.
But hold on. This guy has got to show something other than what he's showing. I mean, he has to have like a recorded conversation between Joe and the bad guy saying, hey, bad guy, I know you're screwing around with some of the boys here, but that's not cool. But I'm going to look the other way.
It's a negligence lawsuit, Bubba. A 51-year-old negligence lawsuit for sexual assault.
I mean, I guess the only reason that it came forward is because when the Sandusky stuff came down, he started acting weird, and his wife asked him why. And then they decided to come through with a lawsuit.
So he waited another 10 years? When did Sandusky happen? I think I was
10 years.
I mean,
10 years.
At least.
Yeah, 2011.
Maybe
12.
more.
Yeah,
this case is equally about the many adults in position of power at the camp, including Joe Namath, an ex-defensive back and camp partner John Dockery, who I think John went on to do television, were aware of, tolerated, and cover up known sexual abuse at the camp, abuse that had a lasting effect, according to Doe, according to allegations amended court papers filed in 2021. Okay, so now, if that's the truth, and that's what you're suing for, there's no judge or no court, I think, Jay, you can maybe help me out, even the most shadiest of courts, like the 13th Circuit, but I'm just saying, like, there's not a judge that's going to allow this to proceed based on hearsay.
No, and there's a 4-year statute of limitations that was just changed to a 2-year statute of limitations in Florida. That's it for negligence. 2 years. This is 51 years ago.
But now they got these various states have this unlimited. You can.
Is that New York?
Well, I mean,
it's got to be New York.
Well, New York. I think it's New York.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's New York and California,
I believe New York.
and a couple others.
Yep.
Where that's the premise of the Ron Jeremy stuff.
And look, let's start with the basic premise. If this guy was assaulted by that creep that was a proven pedophile, horrible. That's different than whether Joe Namath knew it and should be dragged through the mud in 2023 for something that happened when I was 1. I was one.
You know what I need to do? I'm going to have one more stop set before we end the show. I should take Jay out and give him a little Reader's Digest of the Grizz Etch and Riz story.
Oh, yeah.
And get his opinion on it.
There you go.
Because I mean,
opinion as to what, whether you should tell the story? Or?
Yeah.
I can probably guess that Jay will probably say, maybe keep that to yourself.
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
I think here's what I think Jay says.
All right.
And Jay doesn't even know the story, so he's going to see all of us bouncing all around, knowing the story and predicting what he potentially may say. But I think Jay's going to say, you were 20 at the time, and there's some Romeo and Juliet situations going on here. And this was in 1986, and I think you're okay. I think that's what Jay's going to say.
Right.
But nonetheless, I can't wait.
Second one of the day.
I can't wait to get Jay's reaction when I tell him, and then we come back on the air and we just loosely, vaguely speak about what I just told him about. Not in any certain terms anybody could figure out, but just it will blow Jay's mind.
Ooh, I can't wait.
When this is something you've never heard about me or know about me. You don't know this about me. Like, you don't know that I went through this, and this is going to blow your mind, and I might be able to tell it with your instruction.
It blows me away that Anna knows something about you that I don't.
Well, it makes me mad that she does. I wish she didn't know this.
Well, you told us all, so it's not like I was snooping around.
Listen here. Hey, Mr. Got raped when you were 12, and you're now 51 years later. Say something when you're a little boy and you're getting raped.
Okay.
Say something.
I mean...
No, I mean,
Can I just give you my breakdown as a lawyer? You know what they're doing is you go after the only people that have money. That's what you do when you have a lawsuit that you have no one that has insurance or has money, like a guy that's dead.
Yeah.
And so the only thing, this is a kid who probably was assaulted by that guy who's dead. He can't go after his estate. There's nothing there. And so what do? You try to go after the deep pockets.
Joe was probably so pilled up, out drunk and high.
Like he knew.
Exactly. Joe is an alcoholic.
Exactly.
Joe is an alcoholic, man. He didn't know. He couldn't tell you that kid's name.
Yeah, he was taking so many perks.
Good point. Plausible deniability. I was so S-faced drunk.
Hey, Joe, what? There's this guy. Whatever.
Whatever, dude. Get my vodka so it doesn't smell on my breath.
Smith case was filed under the now. Hold on. This is. I find this a little interesting because they may have pulled back the curtain and closed it. It says Smith's case was filed under the now expired Children's Victim Act. Now expired Children's Victim Act, which had temporarily reopened the statute of limitations, allowing alleged victims to file civil suits against institutions and individuals. They're saying it's now, and it gives you a click where you can click on this here. Insurers refusing to pay for thousands of cases of sex abuse claims under New York's Child Victims Act. Advocates claims justice in jeopardy. So are they pulling this back now?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it looks like it was a temporary expansion of the statute of limitations, and the insurance companies who are being sued, guess what they're going to probably fight on? It's been 51 years. Tell me when it happened. Who did you tell? So the insurance companies, just because they opened up the statute of limitations, they don't want to pay on these claims. They don't want to pay on a 2-year claim where they know they killed somebody. Insurance companies are in the business of saving money. You remember the motorcycle case recently?
Yes, absolutely.
For 5.5 years, they say it didn't happen. His fault until we get the case resolved. And so these insurance companies,
and then they offered you just like some insulting figure. You had him dead to rights. Then you got hold on. You had him. You had him good, and then you got the surveillance tape. Then you had him dead to rights. I mean, because all you had to do, literally, Jay, you could say, "Hi, my name is J.D. Acco, and I'm an attorney." Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the attorney. Would you just watch this for me? I just want you to watch this about 5 or 6 times, and I don't have any more questions. Bam, let it hit it. Pity hit it.
Oh yeah.
And Pity hits it. And, and the jury watches it 5 or 6 times, and you'd be like, Pity, show the slowed down one.
That's right.
They show the slowed down one, and you're like, pity. Show the where it was, the markers on the willies, yippee, they show it again. And you're like, I don't have any more further questions, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. And it looks like this guy blew the expanded statute of limitations, too. So say it's expanded for a year. You have a year, the law's changed. You get 1 year, everyone in the state of New York, go think of whether you've had a sexual assault happen to you when you were a child under 18.
I'll come up
and
with
you got to do it.
I'll come up with something
within
right
the
now.
time limit. He even blew that.
I'll come up with Max Bollinger touched me. The coach that I hated the most during my entire tenure of, like playing sports was a guy named Max Bollinger. I hated him. He was the head coach my sophomore year, and I hated him. I could be like, and then I'll have Larry Plummer join my case and a bunch of other my friends to be like, hey, Max touched us when we were in 10th grade, man.
What's preventing that from happening? You know what I mean? It's like, geez.
Hope Indiana's tightened their laws down a little bit, according to what I'm going to tell you in this next break.
Can't wait.
I hope they don't have a law that's been approved by their governor that allows victims of child sexual assault to bring civil lawsuits up until their 55th birthday.
That's why Anna may be right.
Jesus.
Well, Bubba's 56
I'm feeling now
right?
from the
57.
floaters that are going
Hold
out
on.
there, I'm feeling that my advice may be don't talk about it.
Well, I think it is such a great story. Oh my God. Hold on here, Lummy. I'm gonna see if Indiana has one of these, okay? Let me see. That might have a bearing on how Jay rules. INDIANA. And then I let me see how
child, whatever.
I'll paste it. Indiana Child Victim Act. Let me see.
Statute of limitations.
Filing a Child Victim Act a lawsuit gives survivors in Indiana an opportunity to hold institutions accountable for improper handling of child sexual abuse crimes. Look, I'm not an institution or a business. 10 Lloyd, I don't know. What's
it says 7 years. 7 years from the time they could have reasonably discovered the abuse.
Oh, this happened in 86.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Now, I want you to show Jay. I want you to show Jay that law that you just recited on the 7 years, because I need Jay to look at that to see if that's got teeth
I don't
or
think
not.
Jay needs to look at nothing.
I just heard one number, and that's all I had to hear.
Jay, Lummy, find me the state
And
statute.
it wasn't 1986.
Lummy, find me what Indiana, what the law is on Indiana with regards to, maybe you were 20 and she was like maybe 14.
I'll just send you the whole thing here, lockwoodlegal.com.
All right.
So then you can just
Why
read
is she
it.
keep getting younger and younger?
Jay might be calling Lockwood Legal for co-counsel and to get ad hoc into Indiana.
Can you pro hoc VJ
Can you pro hoc me in, buddy? I got a hot case coming down here soon because my client opened up his big fat mouth. Lummy, did you send it to me?
Yeah, I sent you the link.
All right, let me see here. Hold on here. Oh, okay, that's us
That's
from.
not me.
Nope.
I didn't make it to that picture.
Here we go. No, you did not.
I was in the back of Susan Poitras's car crying.
Anna was having an exorcism.
Yeah, that was bad.
And let me see. I can't. When I bring up my.
Oh, is that coming through?
Can you resend it, Lummy?
Yeah. Send it again.
Okay, there we go. I need Jay to look at this. Okay, here we go. In Indiana, there is a longer statute of limitations for child sexual abuse cases. If an individual is a victim of childhood abuse, they are required to file their civil case within 7 years of their 18th birthday.
Check.
Or 7 years from the time they could have reasonably discovered the abuse, or 4 years from the end of their dependency on the abuser.
Oh, yeah, you're in the clear.
No. But see where there's one that's very subjective?
Okay, which one?
7 years from the time they could have reasonably discovered the abuse.
What?
So maybe they didn't know they were abused till they hear you talking about it.
Yeah.
No.
That's a great
And then
point.
all of a sudden, the statute's 7 years from the time you talk about it on the air. And they never, you know what? I never thought about that. And then I just thought about it when I heard him talking about it on the air. And that's when I reasonably first could have discovered that I'd even been abused. I had no idea.
All right, well, let me tell you. You got to hear the story.
I do hear the sirens in my head right now.
We both hear sirens.
I hear them in my head right now, Bubba. This is like,
Jay's like,
Do
Jay's
not
like,
go there.
you've done so well for so many years. You haven't been in trouble since 2017. You are just really killing
and your
it.
fat ass told on yourself.
And your fat ass told on yourself.
For a 5-second pop.
No, it's a hell of a. It'll be the entire show afterward. It'll be the entire after show. let me go into words. I got to tell Jay this story. Yeah. Hold on.
And just so you know, hot dog.
There's not enough soap in the world to make him clean up his act.
Get out of my sight!
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Put yourself over.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. This motherfucker right here. Time in Düsseldorf, Germany.
Welcome to We Put Up the Tree while you and Bubba go over that story.
Oh, it's not happening.
Oh, Jay? Jay's gonna say, yeah, go for it.
Maybe someone blew in a text to Jay. Maybe that person was me. Maybe that person has a really good memory of the document you pulled up 2 years ago or whatever.
I have a perfectly fine memory of the document.
Yes, right. And how all of a sudden you lost the ability to read, even though Bubba yelled at you to keep reading, and you.
I know.
And it wasn't because you were stupid. It's actually because you were smart.
My computer stopped working.
You just punch your computer.
Bubba, my computer just caught on fire.
I'm so sorry. I can't keep reading. I like how every time Bubba tells the story, like, he gets younger and she gets older. And then all of a sudden it's like, I was like 20 and she was like 16, and I was like 19, she was like 17, and then all of a sudden he'll forget and be like, I was like 25 and she was like 9, and it's like, fuck.
It was like it's the reverse of Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting bad. Oh yeah, you're doing the tree today, you said.
Yep.
I'm sorry, did you say that Big Red is coming in?
Yeah.
What is that?
Good morning.
What's up, Blue Joe? Big Lunger.
Oh yeah, Jay and Ty.
Oh, my old college roommate got engaged.
But isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Dog's gonna go.
It's gonna piss on you, or bite you. Let's find out.
Maybe if she feels safe.
No, bark or bite. Say
She
it.
feels safe by you.
Bark or bite or piss.
Bark or bite.
Bark, bite, or piss.
Bark, bite, or piss. It's like kill, marry,
Kill, marry.
fuck.
Hey, baby.
So,
That's good.
are
I'll
you gonna
take
say
that.
the verdict on the air? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think
You
this.
don't think it's a good idea? It
No.
would be such great content.
It would be great.
It would be such good content.
Jay, it is an unbelievable story, isn't it?
Yeah, but
What's up
yes,
with
it
that
is.
guy?
But I'm more blown away by the part that the brother did than the age of the. I just think it's like they murdered him. I think
The other story-
that part's like the wild part.
What's the other story?
With the brother, the family.
Yeah.
What?
With the brother and the family.
Yeah.
About that part.
Yeah.
Like the other part's interesting.
Yeah.
It's like the chasing on the golf course and shooting this.
Yeah. Yeah. The part I remember the most was the discrepancy.
Yes.
That's your guy right there.
I see a couple of
That's your
jokes
guy
for the
right there.
roast coming on.
Oh, jeez, Jay. You waiting for Dan now?
I'm gonna have Steve help be my writer.
Oh.
Steven's hilarious.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what? Cops are coming?
No, I'm just reading the story.
What story? Gretchen's story?
I hear sirens in my head. Look at that video I sent you later today.
Oh, I
You're
will.
very blown away by it.
Is the dog still there?
The video.
I
I
don't think
hear
so.
the dog.
She was here a second ago. No one opened the door.
Lummy, can you take over? I have diarrhea attack.
Oh, no.
Hurry.
I'm coming.
Are you serious?
Yes, I got literally, like, I'm going to poop my pants. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Where's the dog?
Yeah, right there. Just start talking.
Okay, just start talking.
Oh, wait, make sure they grab the toilet paper from the other bathroom.
Oh, she took your toilet paper.
I took your toilet paper, which I
Oh,
shouldn't
man,
have
it's a
done.
giant fart smell back here.
Oh, you just got gas.
He doesn't care about opinion polls and research studies.
Oh, I feel safer already.
He's more concerned about getting a hot porn star for a mix-in with his wife.
Okay, good, because I want to have sex.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I've become friends with this guy. His name's Bubba the Love Sponge. He used to be on Howard Stern's network.
I know who he is.
Yeah, so you've heard of Bubba. But he's famous because his wife slept with Hulk Hogan and it got released. And he's like, Alex, I'm just a swinger. But he's still, there's more to it than that. Like,
Alex went woke, he thinks that Bubba is a joke, betrays his friendship, throws him under the bus. Eats Oreos when he stays with Bubba and the merch crick, and we know he's just a wolf wearing sheepy looking clothes. He used to bond guys out of jail if they can't make bail. Now his head's getting fat, he's gonna do a boxing match. He never got with the hot chicks until his stupid tricks. Now doing cosplay cause he's desperate just to get you to click. So don't be played, watch out, Alex is searching for clout. Used car salesman type of hack, he turned odometers back. He bonded guys out of jail, does anything for the sale. But nonetheless I say Alex Stein keeps chopping out the sponge.
Dealing with a used car salesman because I'm 2024 and you're 1994.
29 years ago, Bubba ruled the radio while Alex played with pickup sticks. Now he's a simp on a limb, and he just jobs out Bubba every single chance he gets, stealing the bits Bubba did back in 96. And now he's gone ahead and throws Bubba to the wind every chance that he gets. He just keeps stepping on his neck, and just like Manson, he just stands on bridges that Bubba built. And just like Spice, he'll stick a knife in Bubba's back, he's a shill. So don't be played, watch out, Alex is searching for clout. Prepaid got wise and got out, Alex has cats in his house. And we all know what they say, guys who have cats are not straight. But nonetheless, second time Alex Stein keeps jobbing out the sponge.
Son of a bitch. I'm tired of it.
Welcome back to the Bubba Love Sponge Show.
No, we still have the music. I was gonna.
Oh,
let
we
it play
still
a
got
little bit.
music. I'm sorry.
That was seamless.
Oh man.
I was gonna say, welcome back to the Bubba Love Sponge Show. Lummy, Anna, Jay, and it smells like a giant fart in my area. Bubba,
The dog was barking.
I think Bubba had a.
It's Big Circus. Bubba had a poo emergency I don't understand why it didn't hit him until 22 seconds before we were supposed to come back on the
Because
air.
I think what happened when I got up here was he farted.
I think that's what happened.
And
too.
I think that the fart was not a fart.
A wet one.
And it might have been a wet one. And this seat is
May have
very
been a
warm.
shart. It's like a worm. Is it sticky?
I'm not touching it, Jay. My shorts are it is warm up here. And there's a fan blowing, and it didn't seem like that helped blow the fart away.
Note to
Yeah.
self, don't eat beans after you've had a morning of explosive diarrhea.
Right. And unfortunately, because there's no toilet paper in any of the bathrooms, I took the last roll and put it in the other bathroom. So Bubba was going to run into his bathroom and have no toilet paper. So
Did someone hook him up? Did he make
thankfully,
it for
I
him?
told him, I remembered right before he ran into the bathroom because he was about to doo-doo himself.
I bet
so.
he didn't go to the other bathroom first.
You would have been, you would have been in trouble.
I would have been. He would have been screaming. It would have been just an absolute nightmare. So, Jay, I believe Bubba had a little bit of a discussion with you.
Yes, he did.
Out in the kitchen.
Yes.
What can you tell us about whether or not it would be a good idea for him to disclose this information? Because you have to be intellectually honest. It would be a phenomenal story.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. It's a phenomenal story.
But
and
the
it's a hard no.
phenomenal story, I would say it's the the other part of the story that
I
is
agree.
even more fascinating.
I think that has nothing to do with the fascinating part of the story, which is
and that just
the
wouldn't
sibling
be
with the sibling. That's
okay.
that what I think is
Separate
insane.
from
Yes,
and I wouldn't get too deep into it because I was able to deep dive in, you know, with some things that Bubba talked about before,
right?
You know, so but I mean that part was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Although the part I remember the most was probably the age discrepancy. You know, and here's the thing, like age gap relationships are kind of in right now. Like you see that a lot with people who are, you know, maybe even Emmanuel Macron, you know, he met his wife when he was 15. Did you know that?
No.
It was his teacher. She was 40 and he was 15 years old.
That is illegal.
And well, in
So she groomed him?
in France, it wasn't.
Really?
The age of consent is 15, but you're just supposed to blast your teacher. You're not supposed to marry her forever.
Well, don't tell it to that. What was
She's not
the
that hot
one-
either.
The blonde that had 2 kids.
Oh,
just died.
not Timothy McVeigh.
He was a
help me
Samoan.
out. Not Vita Vea.
Vita Vea, Timothy McVeigh. No. Jay.
I don't know this. I don't know what
Yes,
you're
you
talking about.
do.
He had a kid. She went to jail, got back out, and then
I remember her. He ended up marrying her.
Yeah,
Twice.
she recently died.
She died of cancer recently.
Really?
Yeah, Mary Kay Letourneau. Thank you.
Yes. They were
Thank
together
you.
for a long time, right? Their whole life.
Yeah.
Well,
that-
he was
pretty much.
12. He was 12, and then she went to prison, got pregnant, she got pregnant, went to prison, came out, got pregnant again, went back to prison, and I think at a certain point they got married.
Yep.
But what I've always said is I wanted to hear the story of her family because she was married with
Right.
3 children prior to her leaving her husband for a 12-year-old, which has got to be probably pretty traumatic.
I would say so.
You know, if your wife cheats on you, but then she cheats with like a preteen. Who
I mean,
can
how would that
lay
make
the
you
pipe
feel,
better than
Lummy,
you?
as a man? You know?
Yeah.
My wife went to an adolescent. I wasn't able to satisfy her as much as a
Right.
12-year-old
A
boy.
12-year-old,
He
not
gets
even like
me,
17.
He understands me.
He gets me,
how
Jay.
I think.
Yeah, not even a 17-year-old, just a 12-year-old. That would be
That's
pretty upsetting
really
to me.
odd,
And
too.
usually they have kids too. They all have it's a family life.
Like, I know Bubba's whole spin on this when it's a 17-year-old, and it depends on whether it's, you know, in his mind a beast or someone that's hot. But for me, 13, 12, if that's my boy, that's not the way I wanted it to go down. No matter how hot she is, I think that's assault.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I really do. I think that's sexual
But
assault.
obviously, I think most people would say that it's probably way worse the reverse, where if it's a 12-year-old girl or 13-year-old girl, it'd be way worse than your 12-year-old or 13-year-old son having sex with his like hot.
There's not
English
much of a
teacher.
distinction in my mind at that age. I think that's just
Okay.
absolutely horrible. And I don't know. I think it's probably an incorrect, distinction to make for a 17-year-old boy versus a 17-year-old girl. But I'll admit I would have completely different standards in my mind. If it happened to my daughter, I would want their head on a silver platter. If it
Yeah.
happened to my son, I'd be like, which teacher was it?
No. Get back in there. Tell people what happened to your butthole.
I don't think that's appropriate.
You did get the toilet paper, right?
There was just enough.
Oh, so you didn't get it.
I went clear to the
Go to
last.
7-Eleven.
I went clear to
immediately.
I went clear to the last piece.
Last square.
No.
And as soon as I hit the toilet, it was an absolute explosion.
Jesus Christ.
Ew.
Let me say the seat was warm.
It was an absolute explosion.
You didn't shart right before, did you? Because he wasn't sure. He said he sat down in a warm chair.
And it did smell like you farted. Is that when you knew it was coming?
Well, I didn't. Hold on. Let me check the chair.
I don't think he had to sniff the chair. It was just
just the remnants.
Yeah.
He could smell it just in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I went to fart, and it felt like if I went any further, it was going to be solid. So you cut it off.
You valved it.
And I cut it off.
That was very
He
smart.
valved it.
And then while I was in the bathroom for that 6, 7, 8 minutes.
Yeah, about that.
I looked a couple articles up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
For content?
Yeah, just various things. I will not be speaking about that situation.
Oh, Gretchen?
Yeah. Stop.
We're not even supposed to use the name.
It's Riz.
Yeah.
No,
Say your name all
we're
the
not going
time.
to talk about it. We're not
All
going
right, I won't talk about Grizz Riz.
Yeah. I do not want Macho Man or Rhett to publish what I'm going to put up on the screen.
Oh, right.
So nobody do not put this on the screen, and do not anybody blurt out anything loud, okay?
Got it.
Just going to show something here. And let me just, if you guys could look at this particular.
I wish I could see.
Oh, this is the one I read.
See, that's what I'm saying. That part blows me away.
No. Did you read this right here?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I do. I see that. I know I can.
Yep, that's when I. Yep.
Yeah.
But the headline is blown. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I was part of that.
Yep.
Man. Phew. I didn't know it was that. Hold on. I didn't know it was this. Hold on.
Right. I know what it is.
I didn't know it was that right there.
Wait.
It's the same. It's
the news article on it that I found, that Bubba found in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's just wrong. That's just not right.
No, not at all.
You know.
How does that make you feel?
I mean, it was 1986.
That didn't answer the question at all.
I just
Why don't you
turned.
just stop talking about it?
Yeah, you know what? We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, legal counsel.
Look at you on time.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Co-host and show historian, Lummox.
Co-host, Anna Hummel.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire, of Council.
Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra, of Council.
Rhett, the Filthy Ginger, video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
And for everything else, go to thebubbaarmy.com.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I repeat hello.